I'll keep going till my speaker can't blow. I'll keep going till my speaker can't blow. I'll keep going till my speaker can't blow. I'll keep going till my I'll keep going till my I'll keep go till my speaker can't. I'll keep going till my speaker can't blow. 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 Going till my speaker can't blow. I'll keep going till my speaker can't blow. I'll keep going till my speaker can't blow. I'll keep going till my I'll keep going till my I'll keep go till my speaker can't blow. I'll keep going 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 till my speaker can't blow.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these restless nights, all these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll Lex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brother since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, acting like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on the better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino.
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? Out here singing to the heavens. When I gonna get my break? I can run this town. Oh. Oh run this town. Oh, 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 oh. I can run this town. No more doubt about me. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, 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 yeah. Don't you know I got the Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes. And you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it, the way you like it now. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, so good, so fresh. Get up on your feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Just the way you like it. The way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
ESL presents ESL Challenger League in partnership with Intel, Acer Predator, DHL, and Qiddiya.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the upper bracket final of the ESL Challenger League Season 50 European Cup 3. We're going to have ESC versus Sangal, and I'm maybe a voice you won't be as familiar with within this season, at least within Europe, but, you know, you'll catch me around Asia from time to time. I'm joined by Grimmy Renard, Freddy. Or rather, I'm joining him, funnily enough, for today's episode and today's upper bracket final. How are we doing today, Freddy?
How the tables have turned that now you're joining me. Finally, after so many years, I win. I was thinking, not a familiar voice. I was like, don't put yourself down. But I'm doing very good. Honestly, the weather's been fantastic. I think I got sunburnt today, and it's the 18th of October. I'm doing great, and I'm really excited to be spending my Saturday evening with you, Michael. How you doing?
Oh, yeah. I'm doing pretty good. I love that you've been able to get some sun, and when the sun's out, the guns are out. And I can only hope that that's the same when we jump into our game between ESC and Sangal. I don't know how much you've been able to catch of ESC, but they're a team that there's a lot of talk around these guys because they have really been on a massive grind as of late.
I think if there's one team that you can ever rely to get their guns out, it's going to be ESC. They've been the talk of the town because they've just been doing so darn well. They've been making deep runs in basically every single tournament they've competed in. They either get to the finals or they win the finals. So for today, I feel like for them, the only perspective is make that grand finals.
Yeah, and they've been doing a real damn good job of that for like you said, a lot of these tournaments. They actually reside in the upper bracket portion of the tournament, but as you can see, our lower bracket is sort of rounding itself out. Alliance sitting in that lower bracket final, awaiting the loser of our game between Sangal and ESC. But in that upper bracket, you can just see how well things have been going. We've been keeping track with ESC. They've been able to pass teams like Ruby, who they have lost to previously, but then have made it deep enough now that we should just be considering them, honestly, a favorite in basically any tournament they play.
Which is kind of crazy because like 2 months ago you wouldn't have. Sure, a team like Ruby might not actually feel like that big of a name just because they don't hold the same weight as a Simple on BC Game. But Ruby have just won a CCT. Like, you know, they did just beat Bet Boom like 2-1. So that's a pretty good win for them. But even though there's a lot of focus around ESC, and even though there should be because they've just got this ridiculous firepower with everyone as a cohesive unit running as a death pool, there is an opposition, and Sangal, they ain't no joke themselves, are they?
Yeah, no, I mean, Sangal are super interesting, mainly because it's kind of a reunification of kind of the old Aurora team to a certain extent. Like, there's a lot of returning names to effectively an Aurora banner, but they went on kind of their own separate paths and have now decided, actually, let's just go back to what worked on our rise in like 2024 and bring in Danists alongside them for that journey. And, you know, I can't say it kind of hasn't worked because, one, they've been able to get to this position, but also when you look at their games, it's pretty well-rounded.
Yeah, I mean, okay, let's be honest, it has taken a moment to get this result. They have been getting like playoff appearances, which I think is decent, but for this roster, a playoff appearance, it shouldn't be like a congratulations. There are certainly some teams, like I think Johnny Speeds, you know, them making it this far, congratulations, that's amazing. Sure. But for Sangal, like the team and the names we have on this roster, I expect them to be doing well, and this to me is their first breakout performance where they've beaten the likes of Monty, Hotu, who have just done really well on LAN, 500, and that Johnny Speeds that are currently in form and also did well on LAN. This is a really good result, and players that sometimes can be super inconsistent, they're finally finding their footing.
Yeah, the interesting thing, and I know we usually talk a lot about the map veto, but I think it's very easy for us to sort of gloss over something like the veto when ESC have been doing very, very well in a lot of their tournaments. And like you said, Sangal have maybe been doing well in this tournament, but have had their struggles, actually. Statistically, a lot of their map pool will look a bit like a weakness, but there are certain positives to draw. I love that they move into the Overpass. That's an ESC weakness. ESC go with a Nuke. That is one of the quote-unquote weak maps for Sangal. And then we have that Inferno as a decider. And every single map, we have to look at it and just go, I mean, ESC are favored just because of their current form.
Overpass is a weird one, though. Because ESC have that's always kind of been the big opening in their map pool. And I think the fact that their insta-ban is Train, which is statistically the worst map for Sangal, like they seem really bad on that map, to be honest, despite them having beaten Johnny Speeds in this tournament in the previous round. ESC, they've been isolated. They've kind of been caught with their pants down, maybe. Like, Overpass is that one weakness, and Sangal, they found it. So if there's ever a way that this map has some tenure or has some longevity, it's going to be Overpass. Unfortunately, though, that means if Sangal don't win out this map, it's already a 2-0 for ESC.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely favorites coming into our first map in the series. Even if statistically it might be their worst, it's more than Sangal have really been able to rely upon. First map in our upper bracket finals here at the ESL Challenger League Season 50 European Cup 3. It's Overpass, and Sami's already spotted the brunt of the aggression here for Sangal on the attack. And they're looking to counteract, actually. In fact, Olymp's leading the way, and he'll get 1 kill, only to be traded out. A quick drop of the smoke there for Sangal. They want to bail because they have the bomb.
I don't know if you've seen much of ESC, but expect a lot of that. Almost just oh, they're going back in. And Moonwalk, very aggressed on short. He's been struggling this tournament, but in this round, he's saving the day. A flashbang, if I'm not mistaken, a team flashbang, completely blinds Klags and saves Moonwalk's life. Now the rotations have come to join him. He's got all his friends in tandem, and Patsy on such low HP just takes a bullet to the skull. And that's a very good start for the Polish side.
Yeah, nice little bit of aggression, getting the early spot, and it put Sangal in a real pressure position. I have watched the thing is, ESC are one of those teams that I am keeping an eye out for a lot, because it kind of feels... Yeah, I mean, their name always crops up deep in tournaments. They always seem to pull a kind of a surprise win against teams that have probably been floating around the ranking for a lot longer than this team have, especially. And yeah, they play a very gambly back and forth style. Not unlike teams like Namiga when they're on their rise. Not unlike teams like Zero Tenacity, I think, as well. But when it doesn't work, which has been rare in these past few months, but when it doesn't work, it does look real bad. So it's pretty all in at times.
It's just that style of Counter-Strike.
Remain unpredictable and just keep moving.
I can't say the full word on a broadcast, but to me, ESC play FU Counter-Strike. They just don't care. They just like, you watch some of their T sides and it's just, but what's also the impressive part is it is that style of full-blown aggression, but it's also really well done together. Like, everyone knows their role in ESC, and that's very clear. And these kind of set plays that they do pull out, everyone knows what to do. So alongside Raiko hitting shots like that, this is also a team that are very well drilled. And Sangal, even though this round was a force fight, you wouldn't have realized or figured it out, would you?
Yeah, they were dealt with quite quickly. Raiko's aggression out long, and then Sami with that follow-up. So it's only Result. Does have his hands on an M4. And while he gets given a duel, Olin will get dropped, and with Sami being on low HP, there's a path to recover this bomb. It's only Moonwalk that can contain him away from that B bomb site. Afmi is up close with that SMG, and will be able to capitalize and recover that rifle. In fact, both M4s picked up from the bathrooms, so no big economic hits for ESC.
That's definitely the one thing that can get scary for a team like this, of maybe over-aggressing and giving away kills carelessly, but so far, it's all dealt with pretty good. This is quite an important tournament, potentially, for ESC, because this is one of the few events they haven't won. In the previous Challenger Cup, they got knocked into the lower brackets pretty early on by BC Game, after they'd already knocked Namiga down. In that lower bracket, they make a kind of ridiculous run, beating Fnatic 9, but then also lose to BC Game, who ultimately won it out. And for a spot in the regional finals, which is another close qualifier of Pro League, for this ESC squad, the main way they're going to go from this online CCT winner form to Tier 1 is qualifying for those bigger events through these online qualifiers. So it's actually really important as a team that is on the precipice of Tier 1 after only a couple months, that they are able to win a tournament like this and have their say and footing in those bigger events.
Yeah, it's been a very, very quick climb, and that would only accelerate their growth and make sure that everyone is aware of them moving into either the later stages of this season or even the next season moving into the new year.
Like Inner Circle.
Yeah, it's a great example.
Yeah, Inner Circle, that's literally what they did. Online, qualify Pro League, and now everyone knows them.
Oh my god, what is this move from Moonwalk? He's gone through the smoke out monster and he's flanking out to short, so he's getting a lot of information here, but it was ships in the night out towards the end of the monster tunnel. Both Klax and Moonwalk a little lucky to have not actually been shot in the back of the head somehow.
This is actually working out. I was scared that Moonwalk was going to send everyone towards B because he see nothing, but then they join up Klax anyway. ESC have gambled 4 players over towards this A-bomb site. Sangal are thinking, yeah, we've just traded. There's 3 more players here. They are never going to expect this, but Result, he's knocking heads.
Yeah, first kill is good, even if the bomb being dropped and spotted towards long. Danis sweeping another one under the rug. But there's Olam to reaggress to front bathrooms. Trade from Patsy's good. 3v1, and Moonwalk spotted inside of Con. Klax keeping that in his keen peripherals. And they'll find their first round here, Sangal. First gun round, and they'll find success.
Kind of crazy as well, considering, well, everyone was there for ESC, but they all take individual fights, and they maybe all think they have a timing, and turns out none of them do. Very disappointing, I would say, for the Polar side. They come away from that with only 2 kills, but also really well done for Sangal. They don't overextend. They keep things calm and collected and show a bit of prowess early on, as they are the severe underdogs. Rounds like that are going to slowly start to make believe, specifically on Overpass, though.
Yeah, they may be burdened by the idea that ESC had so many members towards that A-bomb site. They must have done something on B, and they would be right. In fact, it's the same move here from ESC, but on a later timing. They lose Reiko just as they make that move outside of the B site. Samey, good adjustment around the smoke, just hovering and watching for that exact play. The Molotov should funnel him back, and he's out into open sightlines. The AWP of Danis actually fired his shot, so it's Patsy that hounds him down. And suddenly this A-bomb site is completely open real estate.
Big impact coming out from Danis. It's only 2 kills in 2 rounds, but they're just very important and consistent frags. He's a really interesting piece to the Sangal puzzle, and was someone that you highlighted as, well, it's the ex-Aurora, but then plus Danis, as he has got this really bizarre career trajectory of being brought up to Bet Boom at the start of CS2, way back in 2023, played IEM Sydney, which was the first CS2 LAN. They made playoffs, but then his time on that roster kind of pitted out. He seemed to peak quite early. I remember doing an interview with Innershine, who was the coach at the time, and he said that Danis got in his own head quite a lot, and that's something that's somewhat understandable when he was playing with like Nafany, who obviously is regarded very highly, but back then was regarded very highly. They did really well very early on, overexceeded, and then he got in his head a little bit. He then goes down to tier 2 and becomes an AWPer. Just like, what? Like, where did that... Sorry, not even tier 2, tier 3, to be honest. He went to like space or whatever.
Well, he was...
Becomes an AWPer.
Yeah, shoulder to shoulder was Azorte that was picking up the P90 at the early stages of CS2, so maybe that convinced him somehow.
And now this is, to me, his first big shot since that Bet Boom roster, and the first time, though, he's on the AWP.
Yeah, he's been doing a pretty good job as well with his transition so far. Wouldn't be the first time we've seen that. I always think about you, Cholsey. Shouldn't have put that AWP down.
But that was situational, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's because they lost their AWPer and somebody had to do it. Oh. It's a half-buy attempt here from ESC. Losing 2 gun rounds in a row is far from ideal. And so they've had to make a couple of concessions. Them losing those 2 players in short is pretty much the round, so long as Sangal probe that B bomb site. I think ESC will make a large enough rotation in time. Timing from Reiko is pretty good. Until it's not. That's kind of the best way back into the round, I think.
It's a good timing, but then... Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
It's one of those. This is a pretty good foothold for Sangal on Overpass. Getting early rounds of the T side. That's the golden ticket. I know Overpass isn't as quite the 11 1/2s or 14 1/2s that we maybe saw at the end of Go and the start of CS2. But it still obviously is a very city-sided map. And just to get those early rounds on the T side, win out those first gun rounds, it just sets you up so well and takes off so much pressure for the latter half of the first half. And ESC, kind of them in the hot seat, as they're yet to post anything competitive, to be honest, in the gun rounds.
You know what I find so interesting is that, you know, if I think about the style of ESC and what makes them such an annoying team to put away, it's exactly the strengths of a map like Overpass. Like a lot of CT side options, a lot of early aggro moves, some good timings you can take on extremities. There's a lot of like plays you can make on that CT side basically to get information. It feels like exactly the type of thing that ESC should be good at. So it is kind of a surprise that this is a map that isn't one of their strengths. And the only thing I can think of is that because it's a map that has always had this, I guess, characterization of it, when you're on these T sides, people are actually more aware of what ESC are going to do. Because if you see the counter moves they do on like maps like Dust 2, for example, you think, how many teams are going to take that risk aside from ESC?
Yeah. Same with Nuke as well. Yeah. Like the more you like when you lay it out like that, it makes no sense they're not good on this map. But this is time for redemption. A boost on short, and never mind. Very short-lived. Patsy never even jumps up, and the nade already was sailing in. So actually maybe get a little bit lucky that they drop, so not as much damage dealt. And look at this. Olymp and Bajmi, I think they're just wanting to fight. There's no util. They don't have any. They're just swinging, but they choose to back away. And this Sangal default, no clear direction yet, and a minute on the clock. They need to find that direction.
Reiko's not one to sit around, though. Good aggression, finds Patsy, but there's that ult of Danis once again coming back to strike in for a very important pick. That could have unraveled the round. And the ult of Sami spotted out towards long. They'll hope that they can accelerate past that reposition. Sami's on a foot race into the site. Olymp will need the backup. The flash catching Olymp, but as Sami retreats, he falls into the loving arms of Result, and Danis will collect on the following kill, switching back out to that rifle, giving it over to Patsy. It's a 4-on-2 where there's a good argument for ESC to save, but they're close enough. It looks like they're going to consider the possibility of this retake, but they shy themselves away. So this is a punched-in 4th round here for Sangal. Just another quick explode and another pick that they take in stride.
It almost feels like a little bit too easy.
A smooth start.
Yeah, just kind of getting that over-aggressing Raiko, and then the bomb site caving in with only 1 kill between 2 players, or I guess 1 kill between 3 if you count Raiko. So Sangal 4 in a row on the T side. This is not the performance or intro that I anticipated in this matchup.
Yeah. I mean, ESC
I'm here for
still
it.
Making moves. You can see that they're still making their moves. It's just not working as well as we sometimes see.
Yeah, it's like towards short. They wanted to go for something, but then they didn't really go for something. Didn't get any map control. And there you go. They don't have much util, so they just storm their way forward in towards short. They take that control early. And they've got a good amount of space in towards Con and short, but the main contingent from Sangal, they're coming through on this A bomb site, and Raiko once again decapitated, isolated as that opening kill.
Yeah, I mean, he's got one of the highest amount of kills that ESC have on any individual player, but he's still getting bodied on quite a lot of these entries, and he's been a key figure for the rise of ESC. In fact, he's probably been the most consistent piece on this roster through the many, from the many different rosters he's been on before. He's actually been able to maintain good form from Go to CS2. But might be a bit of a liability. They're reading these aggressive moves. Danis, once again, picking another player to A, but Sami's quick on the trade. And they're now hitting the weakened site. It's only Moonwalk that can stop them, and he finds great timing. Catches them as they jump out Con, but swinging out further for that bomb. Nori will take him out and be allowed to punch in those digits.
Retake wouldn't be advised, and Sami just gets spammed through the smoke. Bajmi thinks, yeah, I've just seen my teammate die in front of me. I'm not going to go and attempt this. 5-3 for Sangal. And Raiko, yeah, you mentioned he's been a real core big hitter for any project he's on. He first came on, I'd say, a lot of people's radar from Onerous with Taz.
Sure.
I remember he played the CCT LAN.
He was there for like three odd years, I think, so that would probably be the...
During the beginning, the end of 22, the beginning of 23, I was really hot on him. And it's taken a while for him to get to a position where I expect him to get, but he has got his, and it's not a surprise to me, but I think a surprise took a while. I remember actually in the first CCT season, he had something like the most aces across the whole season by like 15.
Okay.
It was actually ridiculous. It was like him on 20, the next on like 4.
Yeah.
It was really like freaky. But yeah, it's taken him a while to get to this position. Unfortunately though, this game, he has been struggling as he's been getting over aggressive and just isolated. But this time it's an opening kill for the CT side.
Yeah, it looked like they went for the triple boost into short. Actually found the kill onto Klax, just holding outside that monster tunnel as he has been for most of this game. But that's what makes ESC annoying. When you've been doing a solid enough job, suddenly there's another trick that they pull out. Need to win these fights. Good kill from Reiko. And they won't be able to recover that AK. It's being covered by Result, and his timing is good on the trade. In fact, the spam from Patsy is right on the money. I think may have jump spotted Moonwalk just as he came on out. That's a hell of a way to equalize, because it's back to 3-on-3, and ESC are tucked in for a boost on this A bomb site.
High risk, high reward. And Olymp. Ooh, just a bit of damage. So 2 players confirm. Trap, the scout, does get a tag. And Samay just goes for double dips. Goes for seconds. And Patsy already tagged down. Walking wounded, but Samay...
Wait, what?
Does he just get a collapse with the scouts? All his teammates fall around him. And of course, with the scout of all weapons, he mans down the fort with a collateral.
Insane. I mean, his damage was already great on the scout. He'd already gotten so much value out of that weapon.
That's how Moonwalk? That's crazy.
Yeah, a little jump peek there from Patsy, but...
Oh my god, yeah.
To think that he does all that damage, gets all that value, and he not only wins the round, but gets a free upgrade to the AWP as well for his troubles. It's a 9-5 start here for Samay, and Dennis just continues to keep getting impact on this AWP. Yeah, catching the boost on the B bomb site, but it's AWPs galore on both sides. They both find openers, only for Patsy to trade, so man advantage held for Sangal, but Reiko's position is devastating. He has access to the bomb, and they'll have no idea.
I think these are the type of rounds we should be expecting with a Sangal versus ESC. He's going to be hearing Norway. Ooh. Okay, so he still has the bomb. Wow, Moonwalk started to push through Monster. He's going to force Nori back after being dinked. Raiko drops him off. And now, panic stations. Result in close proximity. Raiko might not expect this, but he does. Flicks onto the head. low HP, but he's still alive, and he's allowing then for his other two teammates to come and join up with him. Patsy and Klax, they were defaulting, they were taking space. They're like, okay guys, take the bomb here, we'll meet you. Oh, the bombs never left T-spawn, and now on two different parts of the map, they have to try and retake T-spawn?
Yeah, by the time they actually get into a position where they can challenge for it, I mean, there's smokes that are down, they're being stalled out. They'll have to win on elimination. They can't escape to a bomb site. They have to find the kills, and Moonwalk's found them. Klax, the lineup is good. 15 seconds, and suddenly it's a foot race. A complete Hail Mary from Reiko to just simply run and hide. And he'll hear the steps of Klax in hot pursuit, and he'll know that he's done exactly what he needs to. A 5th round found here for ESC. The nade won't hunt down Reiko. It's a cute idea. But ult recovered, and it's a nail-biter finish, but they'll get the job done.
Reiko does everything in this round, and I'm a little bit confused at why Bajmi stops holding Monster and then comes to hold the smoke with Moonwalk. There must have been a sound cue or a little bit of misinformation. Miscomms is the only thing I can think, because he with a lot of conviction, flicks around and just stares at that smoke. So, like, sure, they didn't know one was there, but not the second. Reiko, back-to-back, unrelenting force. They just can't dismiss him. Issue is he takes a lot of damage fading away through that Molo.
Yeah, they'll be saddened that they couldn't have found this trade somehow. You have the luxury of working with a Polish production team who, you know, we don't often get some international insight or, you know, local language insight. Say Bajmi, and I think that's what quite a few commentators have been using, but apparently when it's spoken in Polish, it's more close to buy me, which is, you know, if you consider what Counter-Strike is, fairly intentional, so...
Buy me?
Yeah. Shout out to our producer for giving us a little insight.
Has he typed that out? Have I just missed this? Oh, yeah, sorry, okay. I didn't. That's really cool, actually.
Oh, 2-on-2. And the timings are good enough here for ESC. They catch the bomb in con. I mean, it wasn't important. But Klax still could be. Kill onto Samay. Would have been a way back in, but time was low anyway. And so ESC will at least make sure they have equal footing moving into that second half. But they could spurn an advantage as well, given the tide seemed to be turning.
Our producers also dropped a little bit of lore of the ESL National Championships, which obviously in Poland were the qualifiers to Katowice. Yeah. I don't know if you remember, but the final one, Rebels beat 9 in a best-of-5 online final, like 3-0 dominantly. And that was actually the time that Rebels won the first and only series in Katowice that they hadn't done for like 3 years. Moonwalk was actually in that online team that qualified.
Oh. Always remember Olymp's Permita, at the very least. I've had quite a few breakouts from that Polish scene, and it seems like Reiko is going back to being one of those breakout players. Seemed like he was a liability for a decent amount of time on this CT side, but now he's just finding perfect timings. He's found a triple kill in this round, and it's likely going to shut Sangal out.
Live by the sword, die by the sword. And even though Reiko will fall eventually, he's done his duty. ESC struggled on the rifles, but eventually stemmed the bleeding, calmed the storm, and they'll go onto their T side with a 2-round advantage.
your feet, this is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like a takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes. And you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it, the way you like it now. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, so good, so fresh. Get up on your feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Just the way you like it. The way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
If you're just joining us, it's a 7-5 score in favor of the Polish ESC Gaming, a team that have been on the rise on a map that they statistically is the worst in their pool, yet they've still been able to manage an advantage out of that CT half. They're going to have to show us what they have on this T side, however, as Sangal takes the defense.
I will say the pistol round win did help a lot. So coming on this T side, I think that's going to be important. Flashes in, charging onto this B bomb site, moonwalk, spearheading his way forward. But unfortunately, he gets stopped in his place as Nori finds two. Finally, Olymp trades, gets a bit of revenge. Issue is all three CT players now have congregated together. Olymp's got the bomb in his back. Olymp's running away. Baits them out, though, into the open. Maybe overcooking this a little bit. And no foot race at all in the end towards the A-bomb site. As Sangal, they win the second pistol round.
Yeah, I mean, his best case scenario was getting a plant, but winning the round was going to be very difficult. Sangal do a good job of swinging together and swarming what the players that they know are either isolated or round the back of smokes. Made sure to stop this fast assault on the B-bomb site. This is the upper bracket final of the ESL Challenger League Season 50 European Cup. So both teams have a chance, even if they lose here today, still to make it into the regional qualifier for ESL Pro League. But why take the risk? Why journey the lower bracket? Well, you can just win instead. Olymp, lovely headshot to Divider. We'll catch Patsy. That's a weapon that can be recovered if Danis doesn't fight too hard to protect it.
Ooh. Okie dokie. This is going a little bit scary. Olymp's A1S has got another dink. This is a 3v2, and both the Sangal players are within a whisker of death. No armor on ESC, by the way. Quite literally Glock kills on some occasions. No way Klaxon Result actually go for this. They've got a combination of what, 31 HP?
Yeah,
like, what's the point? That, though, might give them a false sense of security that they can go for this retake. Bashmi or by me, as we realized, pardon me, get spammed through the wall. No kit, so time, yeah, is just too low. So even though they do get that kill and it is a 2v2, they're just going to exit, scurry away, tuck tails, as Sangal seriously fumble the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, the opening kill to Patsy, I wasn't sure if it was going to have broader implications, but this recovered M4 suddenly seemed to swing every advantage. Danis did what he could from Con just to get his one, but then gets flanked on timing. And yeah, the damage was already just too much for Sangal to counter back with. So sure enough, it's upgraded pistols that find the break. Sangal are going to be very disappointed by that. Kind of handed off after that kill, just thinking, this couldn't go that bad. And then it got bad. Pretty damn fast. Here's the attack here for ESC. They went for a triple boost on the Sangal side, spotting, I think, one player out towards long, but I think they missed their timing. Olymp's not actually that suspicious, though. Danis can take that contact, and it's a 1-2 punch. Nori capitalizing and finding the counter kill immediately. 2 found over at long as those weapons are blown further to Nori's possession. The M4 headshots just rattle Sammy off. And moonwalks slide out into bathrooms. Patsy will punish. It's only by me. And he is by himself.
Can't buy any friends in this round. I don't think he's even... Well, sorry, there's just simply no chance he gets out from this, because there's a player Con, there's a player front toilets, and there's also a player that was in party. The fact that he even gets a kill there is kind of impressive in itself, but that is Sangal winning pistol, losing against the anti-eco, not even anti-force buy, but then winning out on their own force buy with 2 save weapons and showing ESC that's how you play a stack towards the A bomb sites. Because if you do remember, first gun round C side, ESC had 4 players on A, and they all died.
Yeah, they couldn't convert on an actual full buy, yeah. So somehow Sangal make do with less and get more done. It's not always about the budget.
It's the heart. That's what matters.
Nothing like a little bit of heart and soul.
What's the phrase? It's like the heart of the dog, not it's like the bark of the dog, not the size of the dog. A sign like that.
I know the phrase, but now that you've said it to me, I feel like my brain has been polluted with the wrong way, with the wrong version. Well, there's a pollution of frags over at B, back and forth, and 2 kills that Sangal will not be happy with. In fact, Klax just hoped he was completely undetected, only to get completely spammed instead. And just like that,
right.
This madness at the start of the second half will continue. It's buys and forces back and forth. Neither team can find any stability.
Okay, I'm gonna hit you with it. It's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. And that's exactly what ESC deliver twice, and Sangal has delivered once. We're in these mad, manic force buy wars. I do have a sneaky suspicion that the T side are going to prevail, though, because they ultimately always favor when it goes back and forth in this element, as they just will fundamentally have a better econ. So you look at Sangal, and sure, okay, like Patsy can actually buy himself a primary rifle by himself. Danis has that one save, but then you've got the high highs of that and the lows of Klax going armor, deagle, and then no util.
Yeah, the best case scenario for you as a CT side is if you're winning 1v1s back and forth and you're getting the $50 extra for each of the kills you get, and the T's aren't getting bomb plants. Like, that's the only way you outdo them on the economy in a back and forth. And yeah, even then it's far from ideal. Your equipment costs more.
Ooh,
Awareness.
that's unfortunate. Nori just caught lacking. Moonwalk, a fantastic opening kill. And if it was already difficult for Sangal, it's just been made ever so harder.
Look at the timing that ESC are taking over towards long. There's two charging towards that A bomb site, and well, they started with a quick pace. They'll slow things down. They didn't make noise, and while Result has found his kill, it's actually Danis that turns attention back to that A bomb site.
What?
Partnered up with Patsy to find this double kill. They thought they'd found some open runway to this A bomb site, and now they've dealt with Patsy. They finally accomplished that 2-on-2, where one player is low on either team. But they will double up. It'll be a slow approach. It's the leading Clax that will capitalize on that low health moonwalk. And it's Samay that will hope to find the right timing. Smoke that blooms and is thrown out from the back of bathrooms, but they exchange glances. Samay's actually suspicious. He might just relink back over to long, but it's the full clear out from Clax. He's gone wide, but he's going to look for the bomb, and Samay takes a lot of damage, but he is not looking the right direction. Doesn't expect Result to have taken that long to commit to the flank, and with the recovered kit, Result will pull through. Sangal answer right back.
It just never ends. Opening kill for ESC. They have two players flanking long onto the site, and they somehow go 1 for 2. I really don't understand that round for ESC, how they lose it. And also that 1v2. I don't know if it makes sense, but Samay just looked uncomfortable.
Yeah.
He just looked so fidgety and not confident. That's a very just weird sign and showing from ESC.
Incredibly confusing.
Yeah, because they're normally the team that are overconfident. They're bundled up of little confident bulls. Thing is, though, is exactly what we're saying. The economy for ESC is somehow better than Sangal's, and Sangal won the round.
Yeah, one of the 4 spies they won, they had 4 survive, so they've got some floating cash, as well as those upgrades. Nice clear from Result. Rico was hoping for some way into this B bomb site off the boost. Only for that to be a bungled opportunity. This might be the moment where Sangal find 2 straight.
You'd imagine so, but opening kills, as we learned in round 17, don't necessarily equate to rounds 1.
Smoke is awful.
Yeah. I don't know how it's missed so drastically. Another smoke thrown in. And it's also somewhat missed. It's supposed to be a fake A, go B, but ESC, at every single hurdle, they got knocked down. And Olymp, I guess, trying to save in this 1v4, but that's not going to be too easy, as they might actually just hunt him down. Clax swings and Clax drops.
Yeah, we'll catch him. It is within the timer. That was the one thing Olymp had to be concerned about, was dying after time. But Sangal survive with 4 alive on that CT side. They'll get 2 straight, and so ESC will be forced to save. This could be the beginning of the end. ESC will have effectively 1 more proper gun round before Sangal have the opportunity to close here on their map pick. And they're going to be missing a pivotal weapon. You know, you think about the impact Danis had on that AWP on that T side. So May had a lot of influence on their defense. I want him to be as impactful on the attack. Spam from Nori and the nade is great. Result can even peer deeper into Connector just to try and wrap up this anti-eco, and he'll find 4 kills on that MP9. A whole lot of money made, and double digits here for Sangal.
This will be the first time Sangal have had a lead since early on in that first half, after they stringed together 5 rounds on the T side. They've been pretty quiet on consistency since then. but now rearing their head, looking to send us to Nuke with them in the driving seats. But as I mentioned at the beginning, that was just a mandatory outcome. Like, there was no way they could go on to Nuke losing Overpass. So this is kind of the bare minimum, and it's troublesome as that. But this round is really important for both sides, and currently this MP9 is impassable.
Swing out from Reiko. Oh, Result was committing to a reload, but able to get that magazine put in time, and Patsy will swing from Con to clean up outside of Monster. Sangal shut down that B burst. They don't even get outside the tunnel.
That's crazy that the MP9 just does all of that. Blinded for most of it. And for ESC, you know, I don't even necessarily hate the call. They just get destroyed by one singular player. Result, massive game for him. Big time player on 19 frags. Currently top of the scoreboard. Bit of a silent king, bit of a silent killer. Honestly, did not realize he was doing that well, but is a big part and factor as to why Sangal now have a 2-round lead and look to hit 12 against his Force Spire. But you know, this is where they've struggled the most in this half.
Yeah, let's see if the pistols are going to cause problems. Imi trying to be cheeky around this smoke. It's being watched for by Klax, and he's no slouch. Finds the headshot quite simply. Rest of the attack here for ESC is barreling towards this A bomb site. AWP shot missed. In fact, Danis whiffing 2 times over, and he will not get a third swing at it. It is a complete strikeout, and the AWP recovered here from Reiko. He lands the leg, but Klax will spam him. And so Samay, the designated AWPer, gets a chance, but this AWP is simply cursed. It cannot collect a kill. Flash over. They'll try and catch Moonwalk, and he'll clothesline both as they emerge out from spawn. A 10th round found, and that Force Spy will keep ESC in this Overpass.
Because of course, right? Of course the Force Spy wins. I literally said at the beginning at the round as like a bit of tongue-in-cheek. Oh yeah, but the Force Spy is where ESC have been winning the most. And yeah, quite literally, their only rounds, the 3 rounds they've won on this T side, have been Force Spies. They haven't won a single round in consecutive manner because they've all been Force Spies. So Sangal, it's not that free 12 like I thought they were promised, and instead they still might not be out of the woods just yet.
Yeah, they'll have enough money at least built up that they can continue to go in for these buys, but look at the aggression. Out to short, they find their opening kill. It's By Me that spammed on down, and the AWPs that tried to track down a trade through that smoke will be unsuccessful. So it's an evacuation at the outside of Monster. And Sangal won't feel that safe to just continually stay inside of short, not until Patsy drops the smoke in Con. An exit plan is being enacted. ESC are regrouping with the early aggression out towards short, hoping that they can catch this B bomb site without the presence of reinforcements. Zolan that calls the troops back over.
It's such a big nade. Flash as well, they're all blind, but they've still yet to make any noise. Now they reveal themselves, but it's Patsy and Result that do not miss a beat. Reiko coming down from Connector. Doesn't even matter. All his teammates have fallen trying to get onto that B bomb site. Operative word, be there, trying. And even though Reiko does get one, 3 players, all guns blazing, shoot him down. And now Sangal finds 12 as ESC fail to at all win 2 rounds in a row on the T side.
Yeah, Reiko walks into a firing squad. After they clear out Monster, it's all attentions raised to short. But a good hold. Just that 1-2 punch on that B bomb site. ESC could not wrangle a spray or find a trade. And so Sangal will have 2 opportunities to close their map pick. The lifeline they will need within this best of 3. It's far from optimal weaponry. The spam is good. Moonwalk down to 9 HP. But they're just going to try and burst onto this bomb site. They have to make use of this SMG. By Me will try and lead the way, but it's a back and forth set of kills. Olim's find a kill while jumping, but they find what they need on this B bomb site. 3 openers and enough room to get this bomb planted in. There's a lot of util still available here for these CTs. And HE down, but Olim finds the kill onto the player spawn. And so Danis, while he has a lot of money in reserve, he should consider going for this, but there's also the problem of, do you want to give this AWP over to your opponents? Might just be about damage, maybe a late attempt on the bomb. But they've just got so much money built up, there's actually no reason to play this conservatively if you're going to float around. In fact, it's valuable dying to the bomb if you're going to sit here.
Why don't you just, like, commit suicide, Danis?
Yeah, it really, genuinely, any possibility of them getting their hands on that AWP, if that's why.
There is obviously the conversation, though, of like, sure, the AWP wouldn't ordinarily be in this round if it wasn't for Danis giving away. He doesn't, though, so it's all good. AWPing T-side is hard on Overpass, notoriously. So it's a bit of that double-edged sword. And ESC, I just don't get it, man. Like, they've won 40 rounds, none in consecutive manner, all in, like, I guess, quote-unquote, force buys to some degree. I honestly just don't get it. And by me, again, after both times they've won a round, in the following round, he's the first to die. So it's an instant 5 versus 4, but Result gives it away. Danis will trade out, and that nade leaves Raiko on 2 hit points. And with that in mind, ESC, unfortunately, just seriously struggled to find any ounce of consistency on this T side. Only the force buys they found salvation in. Really quite worrying that there is this gaping hole in their veto, as they've been a team notorious for consistency. But that nuke, that next map, that is basically the definition of consistency. ESC, they rarely ever lose it and play it basically every day. They'll be looking to take us to a 3rd map. They'll be looking to push us to Inferno. But will Sangal have something to say about it?
I'll keep going till my speaker tone blows. I'll keep going till my speaker tone blows. I'll keep going till my speaker tone blows. I'll keep going till my I'll keep going till my I'll keep go till my speaker tone. I'll keep going till my speaker tone blows. 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 Going till my speaker tone blows. I'll keep going till my speaker tone blows. I'll keep going till my speaker tone blows. I'll keep going till my I'll keep going till my I'll keep go till my speaker tone. I'll keep going till my speaker tone blows. 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 I'll keep going till my speaker tone blows.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and Rolex account a blue face. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brother since 6th grade. G-Wagon, red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, acting like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. cappuccino.
In our upper bracket final here in the ESL Challenger League Season 50 European Cup 3 for a place in the grand finals, only one step away from making it through to the European regional finals for the first time for one of these two teams. Sangal, they take the opening blow. Overpass, their map pick, but if there was ever a point of weakness, it was going to be Overpass for ESC. The issue is, weakness is not the word I would associate Nuke with this Polish squad.
Yeah, I mean, a really formidable effort, really, to have gone as far as they did within that map, given the difficulties they've had on it in the past. And I mean, you definitely saw that there was inconsistencies in the way they played, the calling. Just doesn't seem like they've figured everything out on that Overpass. Nuke is just simply not the case. They have a really good push-pull dynamic on that CT side. They love being aggressive on timings. You know, we saw Reiko try and take a million timings out towards long in the bathrooms on Overpass. Expect to see him go for similar types of plays, and if it's not him, it'll be someone like Olymp trying to facilitate that type of action. It'll be someone like Buy Me that might, or actually more likely Moonwalk. Buy Me, given the way that he was on that first map, I'm not sure that he'll be too enthused to be going in first.
No, he actually had a really rough run of things, especially towards the end there on the T side, kind of being a lot of time the one player who was just consistently dying first.
Yeah.
But this ESC side, it's actually just crazy how with little respect they play on Nuke. Everyone knows exactly what to do, when to do it, and where to be at the right time. They have played this map 45 times since March of this year. They've won 41 of them. Actually, one of them being only 3 days ago in this very tournament to Zero Tenacity, but they won the series anyways. There are some very odd results. It's always funny that you look at the list of teams ESC's beaten, and it's quite literally the best in tier 2, and then it's like losses against Phantom, Batera, Forza Reloaded. That is a big thing though recently for ESC, is that they are losing to some pretty odd teams, like Favbet recently, or Ruby. They seem to do better against better opposition, but basically all of that long-winded conversation is to say they are just stupidly good on this map, and also when they win, they don't mess around.
Yeah.
It's like a 13-5, 13-6.
Yeah, it's interesting because, you know, we don't get a lot of conversation about teams that anti-strat or teams that can anti-strat. ESC just plays so many games that people wouldn't want to believe that they are actually anti-stratting most of their opponents, but it does seem like they do find vulnerabilities to exploit. We'll see if that stays true on this map.
Hello.
Ready to jump out towards ramp, and it's a 1-for-2 exchange. Dan is sitting at the back of the boxes, still not swinging. His teammates trying to facilitate with the flash, but Moonwalk pushed close and dealt with the flasher and Danis at the back box. And they'll make use of that route that's carved out towards hell and wrapped to heaven and that A bomb site.
Even though Nori's heard this, and so has Patsy, and they're close by, and they are going to be able to mobilize quickly, I'm not sure how much it's going to matter. Raiko, the only player left in heaven. Jewel Beretta is closing the gap, but the USP apparently overpowers at close range. Patsy finally does trade out, and a 1 versus 2 is now needed, but they know exactly where he is, and they're just not going to peek him. Issue is, Samay might have just been caught completely sleeping at the wheel. That's not to be the case though, and ESC come back from a 3 versus 5 that at the beginning was.
Yeah, real struggle, and maybe a bit of miscommunication there from ESC in the 2v1, but yeah, Samay's not caught out, so it doesn't really matter. I was kind of surprised that Nori is flanking to heaven, and you know, Patsy's not being loud on the rotate necessarily. Just really hoping that they could find an opening pick when they could have actually made their lives potentially easier. Would have exposed both locations, but I don't know, that's just me theory crafting how maybe the round could have gone better. But we'll try not to deal in ifs, buts, and maybes. Only absolutes. Reiko was really tempted to move into that hut, but There is a Patsy around the corner, and he's just barely spotted with that Zeus. And there will be an escape back into the hut. Did he not even have a Zeus? Because I could have sworn, why else would he be playing an angle like that? Oh, oh my god. Yeah, he was tucked completely. Surprised Olin didn't spot him. No surprises versus these USPs. Not even a single kill just so far.
It's exactly what ESC want to be doing. See, Sangal, this is how you play against an anti-eco.
Aimee should be dead. There's a player in heaven.
You'd expect so. Okay. 1 kill. But nothing to be retrieved. 4 alive for ESC. A very simple step into this first gun round, where it's going to be a true litmus test for, on one hand, what is Sangal going to be able to bring to the table? And are we going to see an ESC that we know can play Nuke in the way that they do? Or is it an ESC that really showed signs of struggle on the T side of Overpass by not winning a full-blown gun round in isolation?
Well, they will throw a door lurk smoke, so that's something that they have to consider here on the Sangal side. There's already a quick rotate from Result to that lower side, and he makes sure that those vents are completely empty. Just a waltz on out between Moonwalk and Aimee behind him, and they'll find the instant kill into those secret steps, but Aimee's lost behind on the secret entrance, and so that bomb was dropped, but Raiko's recovered it, and Moonwalk slides into the vents.
Good, Danis. Danis might get caught off, might just catch Raiko off guard, and he does. Bomb dropped, but he should know Moonwalk's here. He knows that the original kill onto Result was from that MAC-10. So he's got the bomb in his grasp, but where has Moonwalk got to? And ESC, because Sangal have a big lack of information, these trades aren't coming. So Danis is just isolated and being isolated further down with this bomb.
Timing from Moonwalk, yeah, just completely disregards that close range angle. Danis thought he could get eyes back on that package, but timings work out. Just as Olymp strikes at ramp, attention's drawn over, and it's the perfect gap to exploit. Norway can't do much to save this one. They had players reinforce that lower site, they had good reactions, but once they lost access towards ramp, all reinforcements for Danis on that lower site was kind of segmented and cut off. So Norway can only save. Good times continue here for ESC on the attack.
I really love how ESC, they don't panic when that bomb gets dropped. They just really chill and freeze. Like, it can be very scary that they drop the bomb twice, and especially here, like, ooh, Danis is somehow in between and behind enemy lines, but no panic at all. And Sangal, they just get constrained away from helping and supporting Danis as he just gets seriously isolated. It's now their turn to go onto a force by MP9, pistols, and that one saved A1S on Norway, who's yet to get onto the scorecard.
I'm expecting a bit of aggression here from Sangal. They've got some MP9s that are playing close range angles, 5.7s as well, close to outside. They'll hope to slide on out. Patsy, yeah, really nestled in there. Moonwalk tried to full clear it, but he'll give an AK over to the CT effort. Danis has even struck in with his Deeg, and Patsy's recovered AK continues to do damage. Through that vent, it'll be Olymp that finally trades things out, but he's down to 9 HP, and it's a 1-on-3 that Danis will simply push over the line. A simple tap-in, 3 survive, and rifles recovered. First round for Sangal comes on those pistols.
If there's anything that makes sense, it's 4 spies winning in this series. An abhorrent amount on Overpass.
Yeah.
So Sangal, of course the rifles don't work, but as soon as those pistols are in hand, they turn into prime Nico. Visual spirals from that opening kill being one outside. ESC though, gonna make sure that that is just a flash in the pan result as they turn up the heat outside. Patsy, cheerio, bye-bye. Raiko also diving around the corner from main. Clacks the nade landing on him and a bullet to follow up. Now this is classic ESC.
Just a torpedo into main. And Patsy had nades pulled. I mean, this completely caught Sangal off guard, and Result on his descent out from heaven has made noise, so they are swarming all around him. Buy me from up top.
And then he's flanked.
Yeah, well, when all this attention is drawn towards the top side and outside, ramp was open, so yeah, that's a very, very curious call. I will say, you know, this is the thing about ESC. They just take such massive risks in the calls they make. It's so all in. Now, if Patsy has his gun raised, that is a simple enough decision. I mean, there's a shadow advantage for him. The only reason he loses those fights is really that he has nades pulled. It's just a spalling call to ramp now. They're just going to keep on challenging around this smoke. Result 1 kill, but he cannot drop without exposing himself. And so as he jumps over that railing, he actually does manage his escape. Norway just simply was not so lucky. And Result is simply hounded down. Reiko running right after him. Still 3-on-3. There's only one player towards this lower site. Reinforcements is not coming anytime soon. And there's still a moonwalk that's lurking outside.
He's gonna moonwalk outside. He's now gonna come down to secret. And ESC, the charge of the Light Brigade that just never gets stopped. Never gets stunted. And all 3 players for Sangal now grouping up. Waiting to detonate this one. Oh my god, that is ridiculous. That is just silly from Raiko. 1 bullet is all he needs. Bombs being defused, there's not much time left. Moonwalk will just make sure they're better safe than sorry as he kills and takes down everyone with him. ESC, with a little bit of flair, a little bit of BS, they go to 5.
Yeah, they may have count themselves lucky, really. 3-on-3, and it's an instant kill from Raiko. The spam from Moonwalk is diligently to the farthest left that you could be on that defuse. And even if everybody dies, they still pull away with the round. It's a little scary. Yeah, these pack fast explosions that ESC have gone for, they succeed in that ramp call, and they'll try for it again. This time against these pistols, there's a 1-2 punch in between Result and Danis, but Result's the one that comes away with all the kills. 3 over at ramp. And so there's rifles dropped. Progressing into this lower site won't feel quite as threatening when they've got less manpower. And Walk's just trying to fake that he is also, unfortunately, cut off from his teammates. He is hyper aware of the possibility of a flank. Clear looks good, and headshot instant there to Norway, but he's also watching for ramp, and he'll catch every single headshot. It's a 4K here for Moonwalk on an 11-3 scoreline.
Why are these always the most competitive rounds, man? And Moonwalk, sorry, this is some fantastic awareness, because if I'm in this position, I'm getting that kill on Norway, and I'm hurling myself up that ladder to go get the bomb down on A. And I probably would have been shot in the back of the head by the 5-7 up ramp. I suppose that's why I'm casting and they're playing. But I still think it's just really crazy awareness and something that ESC have done multiple times of just not being over scared. They don't overreact. They just keep their cool. And that's maybe why they're just so ice cold. Ice cold killers as they just burn their way out onto this A bomb site. It is a 2 versus 3 for Sangal, but I don't think that really matters, as surely they just go for this save.
Yeah, quick topside hit, and they find every entry they need. They even had the main wrap as well to catch them around the back of the smoke. Simple as you like. And it has been pacey here from ESC. The shooting has to be linked up with that pace. Sangal are just simply not prepared for that task. Well, they're trying to keep us ahead of schedule. I'm sure ESC would have loved to have closed this map, the series out 2-0, given how close things were on Overpass and how many back and forth force buy rounds there were. Going into a comfort pick like this, they're showing Sangal the business end of the stick.
This is why it was so important that map 1 was won by Sangal, their map pick. I think it's just such fantastic calling for ESC as well. Like, to change the pace there and to have pretty much conditioned that early plays are going to be elsewhere, and then just boom, a bomb site. Like, you know, Sangal just weren't ready. And even though the util was there as normally placed, ESC just run straight through it. And those type of rounds, those set pieces, I always am quite impressed with. It's the small things of just like, I think they should be, but they are just really clean with them. Like, everyone knows exactly what they're doing. There's no mistakes. I think that's a minimum, but I wouldn't take it for granted because a lot of teams mess up those things.
I've got a few cute plays that, yeah, everybody knows exactly what you're doing. You're spot on. Like this. Outside walkout with just the first smoke. Not a full wall built, but there's a player deep garage. I will have no idea. Olim's found his kill through smoke at door. Right. And while he's low HP, he will retreat and find some safety in at ramp. Sameh spamming the feet of Danis, who doesn't react until it's far too late. And over towards this lower side they go. Riso will try and stand ground, but it's a trade for Reiko. And so Patsy and Norway are out of position. I like the out of this round. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame there for Danis, because I'm sure he heard the steps for them starting to make their way down the secret steps, and then he gets drawn out into a player top main. That was tough.
A lot of these rounds just feel at times over before they even start.
Yeah. It's not the first time we've seen ESC try and do this red late cross, but this is definitely the more successful of the 2 rounds we've seen of it. Certainly helped that Olim got his freebie through the door smoke.
You must have heard, because yeah, it just feels like such a random spray that just happens to perfectly connect. So there must have been something given away. XM brought over into the round. Oh, I love it. Nori, he struggled. He saved quite a few of these rounds, 2 and 6. No one on Sangal have really done much to write home about. And on another important round, I suppose, just Sangal need to win a gun round, they get dropped upon. It's that torpedo that just somehow never stops. Moonwalk, a double before finally revenge is sought out. Issue is, I don't know if it really matters. Result, a swing, a miss, and a death. And Clax is just sitting here like, guys, I've got lobby control. Oh, everyone's dead, and they know I'm here. And those trades, it's actually mental how good their first bullet accuracy is and how quick their trades always are.
Yeah, this double drop to main was, I mean, ruthless. This was the first time that Sangal were trying to play a player towards the top side of the secret steps on a timing. He gets ahead of the smokes. If ESC go for a simple cross towards those secret stairs around the back of those smokes, they're probably in for a bad time. But yeah, the fact they double drop main, they find the kill instantly, and then Danis feels pressured to do something because otherwise he can't support the A bomb site. It does just come together quite nicely. Samay, very conscious. Not sure who spotted the player top garage, but the awareness is there. And this is the first round that is looking like a clean start for Sangal. Every attack avenue is dealt with, and Spam's round smoke also find their mark. So 5 alive in a very convincing gun round.
A little bit too little too late though. Like, okay, nice, they deal with the aggression, but at max they get 3 on the CT side of Nuke. Right next to Overpass as being the most CT-sided map in the pool, just below the counterpart.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, sure, these are maybe a clean round. Maybe they even end round 12 cleanly as well, but I don't know how much that's really going to matter. I don't think I've ever seen Danis on an AWP. If he hasn't had much impact. And ESC, throughout all of this, though, they're going to want to end off on a high. They're going to want to end on double digits, as there are currently 3 players on lobby with the bomb, and there's 2 outside that are dropping smokes on the fly, but it's all a ruse. And Rassault going aggressive there. He sees only 1, but he instantly dies, and now all of that information is taken away. But through the smoke, Moonwalk and Raiko die, so ESC, they're forced to accelerate with their plans, but it's another ruse. It's another loop that Sangal are being forced to mentally jump through as the T side go down ramp.
Now, Danis has been that player from time to time, and so with him finding a kill, they find the gap. So there will be a punched in plant. Samay still lurking towards the top side and catches Clax. Beyond Nori and Patsy to put Sangal in a potential win. Spam actually connecting on teammates, and, well, Nori and Patsy both combined for these 2 key kills in the site. Samay's late to the party, and while he will reveal himself in at ramp, it is far too late. Bomb is not planted for him, and so Sangal do wiggle out a bit more room to breathe in that second half. ESC with a very convincing start to their map pick in this series. They're looking to answer back and force us into the decider, but we'll see how they finish things off, if they can, after the break.
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? Out here singing to the heavens. When I gonna get my break? I can run this town. Oh. I can run this town.
A lifeline for Sangal found in the dying embers of that first half. They string 2 in a row on the T side, but yet they still sit in a 6-round deficit. ESC now on the defense. Surely they just force this to Inferno in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, well, it depends on how this pistol goes. That will be the first piece of the puzzle. And they've already got the opener they need outside. Down towards Secret. That's the plan of attack here for Sangal. Dan is still running interference. Olip tries to run him over, and there will be more where that came from. Danis is just lapping them up with this P250, only for Buy Me to finally answer back, but he's now on 33 health, and with 3 players remaining to find. This B-bomb site, the bomb should go down. See if Buy Me can clutch this back. It would have to be instant headshots, and he's actually not even convinced it's the B bomb site, just simply because of how long it took for them to get a plant in. I actually think he's convinced it's a topside plant, and now he's come to that realization. Back down ramp he'll go, and he simply wasted too much time now. No way they should give it to him, and so Klax will finish off the job. First piece of the puzzle found, Sangal with the pistol.
ESC, when they first started getting on a lot of people's radar, was a big part of that was because of how consistent just everyone was. Like, you'd look at the stats just at any given moment, and like every player was on like 1.10 to 1.15 HLTV rating, which is bonkers. Buy Me's really struggled this series. I feel like he deserves to be called out at this stage after being pretty much non-existent on Overpass, being the player who died a lot first on the T side, and then now here 4 kills going into round 14. Like, he just hasn't activated whatsoever. And he might have to, but Olip, he's just gonna do everything by himself, and it's the Force Buys. Of course it's the Force Buys!
Yeah, they were down towards his lower site fast. They dove the vent on Sangal, but there were 2 players on ESC that were ready to greet them. And so now Klax is in a really bad spot, has the unfortunate luxury of holding onto that bomb, and his teammates were just not in the right position to support. Didn't want to get in each other's way. Norway's answering back in a big way. Danis, again, doesn't want a body block, but they're both so low. And with an SMG around the corner, no guarantees they come away with the kill, while Samay, forced forward by the Molotov, will finish off the job. And now Norway actually wins his fight. Hold on. All he needs is an instant headshot, and Olimp's out of the round, but how will Norway know where to look? He knows Olymp was down towards his lower site. The door will close. Olymp knows that Norway is completely trapped.
Olymp, ice in the veins from not peeking after that door closed. A tap on the bomb. Will he expect this much layering of a round? And Nori just confirmed that the bombs are being planted by putting down further util. He is petrified of his own shadow.
He can't make
10 seconds, and now he just has to plant, but he taps again, and Olymp still is yet to show himself. What are the reads? He's run out of time. I am astounded by the fact that Olymp, he's just so much smarter than everyone on this server right now.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell as well with how hyper paranoid the first smoke and then a second smoke down while trying to punch in those digits. Yeah, Olymp just nerves of steel, doesn't bite, only peeks when he absolutely has to. And to be honest, I'm surprised that there was a commitment to the plant there. If you're going to tap out and fake things out in a 1v1, and you know, you kind of have to live and die by that decision. But yeah, it's tragic end to what could have been a lifeline for Sangal back into this game. Back into this map, at least. Forced by, they're going to burst the smoke and try and run them over. Tech9 does find the trade. Reinforcements is coming, though, and between that crossfire, it's actually not worked out as good as it looked. ESC, even on the trades, and so now Danis has his hands on a rifle, and he can actually allow Patsy to start to work his area of the map and link up at ramp.
I was critiquing Buy Me. This is his moment. But Moonwalk's going to be the first contender. MP9 spotted. Danis draws a little bit of blood, but that's going to be it. Bomb that's been picked up. As the T side yet to make a decision on where they want to go. It looks like down towards B will be the play. And by me, he was once upon a time on this lower bomb site, but he's rotated all the way through secret, up outside into yard. And it's actually Moonwalk who's opening up double. Bomb planted in the smoke. That can't be denied. Moonwalk taking so much attention. Where's By Me? He's only just coming down the vent now. There is a kit on Moonwalk, but he's taking a hell of a lot of damage. And Sangal are just playing now the range. They know that they're up against SMGs. Tucked in towards ramp. By Me, only good for one, but a Danis sharp shooting for those 2 kills.
Yeah, a 4K here for Danis, who got the trades at ramp, and with that collected rifle, finishes off the job. Just as soon as one door closed on Sangal, they open another one with the force buy. So there is maybe still a way out of this hellhole. Found themselves at a hell of a deficit coming into this second half. Maybe now they can look to close that gap. Well, you would hope that they are able to at least win this round. It's full USPs, 5-7, P250. They're just running at them through the smoke, and it's really going quite terribly. In fact, they're losing out on a lot of trades. They will finally find Reiko. It's far more damage than you would hope, but it'll get the job done.
Whenever I just see like a force buy or a low buy, I'm always just clenching just that little bit. And especially when it gets a bit gnarly, I get a little bit scared in the back of my head. I'm thinking, I've seen this go wrong about 10 times already this series. Eco, force buy doesn't really matter. But ESC, they actually play that round quite reserved by not buying that much in. So what would have just continued these force buy wars, it's actually ESC playing with their advantage and now just buying fully back into round 17, not allowing Sangal unnecessary rounds back in. And even though they do take good main control, they get nothing from it, as it's very good awareness from the T side to go, oh, they're here, let's disengage and force and press that issue outside more than we might already have been planning to do so, as Danis is just firing on all cylinders right now on this attack.
Yeah, 2 great kills towards the outer yard. Like you said, the counteraction was right on point. ESC didn't have a lot of util coming into this buy, and so they tried to be aggressive, only for Sangal to push another extreme as a counteraction. Reiko at least get his kill onto Danis. Fighting from main, Nori won't really want to chase down this kill, has to drop into his arms. May call over some support, but Samei's the one that gets caught reinvestigating. Moonwalk will catch the back of Patsy, and suddenly it's back to 2-on-2. Smoke down to main. They can collapse onto this A site, but Moonwalk's all the way out, and he'll collect on 2 more frags, gets ahead of the Molotov in heaven, and they have absolutely no idea. Just like that, ESC back into winning ways, and 2 rounds shy of closing on their map pick.
Moonwalk is just having one of those games, isn't he? Just multi-kills galore, and it is a decision for ESC that pays dividends. They didn't unnecessarily force in and allow Sangal to pick up and roll up some rounds, but it's also really disappointing for Sangal that they make the correct call at the beginning on that T side from the reaction of ESC's opening play. Danis does his work, and yet they lose the 5v3 and 2 players stay alive. Really just disappointing. And if they can't win a 5v3, I don't think they're going to be able to win a 3v5 with also the main man Danis out for the count immediately.
Yeah, Norway needed that kill. He just couldn't wrangle the spray. It's Olim that actually finishes off the job, and Result will at least find the trade and access towards that lower site. But there's still 3 topside. Moonwalk in a timing battle between him and Klax in at the door. Oh, Dink hit, and so Moonwalk now put on notice. If Klax only had an HE to work with, this could be a simple enough kill, but they're pulling attention away. In fact, they called Result up the vent, and just like that, sure, Klax gets his kill, but he's now lost his teammate. Bomb is out in the open. HE running him down to 1 health. And while Clack survives, he cannot hit the instant headshot. Needed it for a chance. 12th round secure for ESC.
It's just like, no matter what, they always seem to be able to get these rounds across the line. It's all, but Pyme's just chilling on 7.
It's insane to me that there's a player lower, there's a player door, and Clax hits his headshot. And they were just about to aggress ramp. They were just about to start walking down the ramp to clear B. Everybody turned attention. As soon as Clax revealed from door, they all just decided to group, try and kill Clax, and then figure it out, only for Result to dive up the vent or make this quick ascension right into every single ESC member. I don't understand. I appreciate the thought process, but there are so many teams that just wouldn't make that decision. There's so many that would maybe pull one player away and just to contain ramp, or they would just say, oh, I guess he's, he might be dead, but it's only one guy. We know there's one lower. No, they make a very decisive move, and it will work out to give them 6 opportunities to close this map.
That's a pretty good start. Moonwalk. He's just been on fire. Pyme gets a kill! Pyme gets 2 kills! Okay, he's making his stats look a little bit better. After a very troublesome series, he's able to at least end map 2 on a high. By the by, that's by the book on this Nuke ESC. They probably could have closed that one 2-0 if they had been able to just have a T side of Overpass, but they couldn't win out anything that wasn't a force buy and nothing that was in consecutive manner. It's kind of weird watching ESC in any game, because you look at Nuke in a veto and they win, and you kind of sit here and you're just like, yeah? Like, I don't know, that was, we always expected that, and they play up to those expectations every single time. They've played it 45 times, or 46 now since March, and they've lost 4 times, and they're playing up against like solid tier 1.5 teams. So it's not even that disheartening for Sangal that they lose there.
Yeah, it's a crazy state of affairs, but everything's kind of going as planned here for ESC. They win their map pick, and we will throw ourselves into the final map of the series. It will be the decider as to who goes to that grand finals. It's Inferno coming up next.
I'll keep going till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going till my I'll keep going till my I'll keep go till my speakers come. I'll keep going till my speakers come blow. 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 Going till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going till my I'll keep going till my I'll keep go till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going 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 till my speakers come blow.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst.
Welcome back to the ESL Challenger League Season 50 European Cup number 3. We're in the upper bracket finals. It is currently ESC versus Sangal 1-1 on the cards. Both teams winning their map picks. Sangal do it by barely scraping through at Overpass, but ESC set their foot down on a very dominant Nuke. And so we head into Inferno as our final battleground to find out who goes into those grand finals of this cup.
ESC feeling maybe a little bit invigorated as they came so close yet so far in the previous cup, making a pretty heroic lower bracket run, but only losing in both the upper bracket and lower bracket to BC Game, who then went on to ultimately win the whole event. ESC will be chomping at the bit for redemption, or at least a place in the grand finals. This isn't also Sangal's first attempt. They actually were quite admirable last cup, as they only lost to Foot and Nine and were able to beat Betlick, Apogee and Venom, which, you know what, I'd say that's pretty admirable. Sangal have the luxury of they are playing Cup 4, ESC aren't. So if this titan of tier 2 want to make it to that close qualifier and step one little bit closer to legitimacy and qualifying for Pro League than doing well at Pro League, it's now or nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're definitely a team that need extra repetitions and more chances on LAN events. You know, they have definitely been able to stretch their legs a little bit at these smaller tournaments, but they will want to, get the extra exposure that a Tier 1 tournament can bring, and ESL Pro League is a great place to start. Safe environment, studio, everyone's chill. You get to show your personality on the broadcast a little bit. It's a vibe and a good time, but they're still many steps away from doing that just yet. Like you said, this is their one real chance at doing it, given that they're not participant in the following ESL Challenger League Cup. So yeah, they'll want to block themselves into that grand final.
I'm almost certain that some of these ESC players have played at Pro League before on like some random Polish roster that qualified.
Ooh, I mean, I think Samay would have with Sangal.
Oh yeah, sorry. He would have. That's a bit of a low-hanging fruit. But the other one's definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Olymp probably. And speaking about this T side, on Inferno now. Map they're pretty proficient at. The pistol round, it's going back and forth. They do clear out the bomb site and are able to get the bomb down. ESC pushing through this CT smoke. High risk, high reward. But Samay gets caught in no man's land. Raiko now. Clack seems to have a pretty good idea of where he is, but it doesn't matter when the instant headshots get dished out. No kit. Patsy tap on the bomb. Raiko can't actually see if it's being defused, so he has to force his way forward. Patsy plays that perfectly. He lures Raiko in, but similar to his teammate, what can you do when the instant headshots come follow him?
Yeah, I mean, really nicely done there from Raiko to have found those isolated kills and also just be able to hound down that final player, because things could have gone real out of hand. The plant wasn't optimal for his position. But that's what they bring in Raiko to do. Bulldoze with 3 kills in the pistol. It would mean that this machine here on T side can get rolling quite quickly. But it's into a force buy for Sangal. It's all SMGs and it's a flurry of different ones. MP9s, MP7 for Danists, and the UMP, which has been gaining extra popularity as of late. But look at the pace here from ESC. Olymp's already out towards the front side of library. Resol gets completely caught off guard in the ushering back to this A site. And it'll only be Clax at the back of it that is finally sussed out. So 3 quick kills, and ESC should just tap this one straight in.
Oh my god, Olymp.
He's on for the ace.
He's doing his he's doing his best moonwalk impression. Will you expect Patsy around the corner? Ace. First in the series? Denied. So boring.
How dare he?
How dare he get his kill and defend himself? Boo. It's actually kind of weird coming out of a force buy that hasn't had any shenanigans go on. This is all, by large, been a pretty normal round. And that's weird to think after this series so far.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a pretty normal start, aside from Olymp being the one that gets all the kills.
Yeah.
But maybe we speak too soon. 5 nades bought up here by Sangal. The pacey style of ESC into a nade stack. I'm seeing a world. They're all starting B. I'm going to send it all the way down to Deep Banana. Once they see and hear all those nades, it's actually a lot of nades in response as well. They sent 3 over that half wall, and so is Raiko that comes away with a double kill. Somehow the T's dodge most of the explosive utility. And yet still, ESC are continuing to run into this B bomb site, and they don't take a single casualty. It's 3 HP on Olim. That's the weakest one. The money is being built up for Escape Gaming.
Is that a MP5? I actually always forget the name because I mix it up with the
MP5 SD, I believe.
MP5 SD. I mean, you just don't see it that often, but apparently Olymp felt the urge to buy into it instead of the Mac 10. I remember when it first came out, it was pretty nifty, but since has been overtaken. He's going to hang on to it into the first gun round. He's got ample enough money. Moonwook's on the SMG who's yet to get a kill, but he's also kind of really yet to see anyone in a proper duel. As Olymp's just taking all those kills, and Olymp, okay, that's a little bit too over-aggressive. Klax, though, was fully blind. Issue is, the flashbang came like half a second too late, so he was able to trace Olymp through that smoke, and this A execute is falling flat as it just feels a little bit uncoordinated, actually, from ESC.
Yeah, they tried to make a couple of cheeky plays around smokes with their util. They try and leverage those SMGs, and they take quite a few gambles, quite a few risks, but everyone was chasing after a timing, and they simply could not get out through the choke points. So, really nicely done for that from Klax, not only getting his kill, like you said, partially blind, but then also sitting through the Molotov to catch them off guard in middle. Still, there was a lot of money built up here for that T side, so a buy is obviously on the cards, and still maintain a decent amount of floating cash as well. Be quite as all-in or as fast-paced now that they're all on rifles.
Nope, it's actually, if anything, faster. By me, up short, gets one bullet off before he gets brutally pulverized. Down is Patsy with a really clean hold. And I'm getting flashbacks to that previous round of just not really seemingly on the right page and maybe over-relying on those opening kills from individual prowess. And the former of not being on the same page is something that you don't entirely associate ESC with, because they're quite good at actually being very well drilled, and that's been one of their main virtues and values for success. Still attempting to hit A. Nori and Result aren't in the mood for rotating over, and it doesn't look like they'll need to whatsoever as Olymp Blast Alive mollows himself off.
Yeah, well, this has not gone well at all. Not a single casualty here for Sangal. Another successful defense, and yeah, it's again a little bit... It's pacey on the initial push, but then once those first two players die, it just gets fully stalled out from ESC. They don't move a muscle, they hold fast, they're waiting the smokes. It's fairly one-dimensional, but that is somehow not that unusual for ESC. Again, they are very all-in, heavy commitments, and occasionally they'll have these, you know, massive back and forth swings between bomb sites, but they do dump a lot of resources in an opening gambit fairly often. These two rounds have simply not started well enough. I think the harrowing thing, though, is that the lack of damage does just provide some extra economic security here to Sangal. And you never want those CTs to feel too comfortable.
Black playing aggressive on the balcony. By me has to jump up, but he jumps to his grave. Patsy also giving perfect overwatch. Bomb has already committed out, and it's just sitting out wide in the open. Of course, that's the kill Olymp gets as like the smoke's blooming. Like, of course, right? And the force by the Tech 9s. Hey, I don't want to rule them out, because why should you for ESC? Issue is, because that bomb's been spotted, you can see that there is that rotation from Nori and Result that maybe hasn't in previous times. So if there ever was a world, it would the stats were dwindling. And it's actually going to be a pretty even affair early on Inferno.
Yeah, that was probably their best chance, is just trying to somehow overwhelm or rotate, because that bomb dropped into mini pit. So, you know, in their attempt to trade out the apartments, compromised position of that package meant that they could only continue to push forward. And they've been doing a good job of locking down the apartments and short plays that ESC have been trying to go for so far on this T side. So it is a commitment into the buy. 3 AKs, 2 Mac 10s. And well, sorry, rather a Mac 10 and a Tech 9. Just expect them to go for another one of these bursts. Nade is very well placed. Softens them up as they just get past the half wall. God damn, that's a hell of an entry there from Olim.
Okay.
It's the in-game leader leading the way with that AK and just cracking straight into B.
A lot of the focus has been over towards A. Nori and Restart maybe sleeping a little bit, thinking, can we get anything going? You're going to come over and say hi to us? And, well, they came to play. And in the most ESC fashion possible. Moonwalker's also crept behind enemy lines. Wait, are the CT... Oh, the CT side are going for this. Wait, sorry, I just assumed because of how late they were that they weren't going to go for this retake. But no, they were, and then obviously weren't because Moonwalk gets that kill onto Clax. Patsy is going to get a lineup and will spray 2 down, so he should be surviving. Raiko, I think he's gotten far enough away. 4 HP.
That's just so sad, though. You know, you just consider the world where the rotate isn't cut off. And Moonwalk is just like late to banana or something to that effect. I mean, of course, Patsy's probably not going to get an opportunity like that in a normal circumstance. But damage is... they'll take damage at the very least, given that round was a complete write-off. Where is Buy Me?
I've been asking those questions.
Yeah.
A few times.
I'm now asking too.
Has he got lost? It appears so. Who hasn't got lost though is Olim. By me, of course he dies on A, but Olim alongside Raiko just fighting their way forward. How can one be just so confident and mechanically crisp while leaving the bomb behind? It's like they're playing MM. And they're not even taking it seriously, and they're just like laughing to themselves, chuckling as they run up banana. But it's a professional Counter-Strike for a finals spot in the ECL European Cup 3. And Olim's just playing DM. He's playing refrag.
Well, this is a free kill. Olim, don't toy with him like this. He's going for a knife in a 2v1, bomb down, and just like that, a simple backstab and another 4K here for Olymp on this T side.
I'm glad you brought up the 2v1 and all of that, because like it just feels so unnecessary to be dancing with death here. He's 1 HP, because if one bullet got flicked around and landed, like, he's dead.
Yeah. If he waited too long and there was a shadow, if he... You know, if just even a cursory glance was given over by Clax. He's simply too smart and somehow too crisp, too. These entries that he's finding on this B-bomb site are, you know, hard swing committals where he is out-aiming the players of Sangal. These aren't set up frags. They're not throwing copious amounts of flashes for him. They're not disjointing or throwing off this, like throwing the CTs off balance with like Molotovs and HEs. He is effectively dry swung into B now in 2 rounds to break that bomb site wide open.
I kind of respect it. It's actually comical. B's been working out quite a lot. They've tried to change their perspective. It's 1 minute and 34 and they're already getting around Moto. 2 smokes have been dropped to try and block them. And Result swings and a big miss. Tries to get ahead of that smoke being bloomed. But Nori with the MP7. We've got all the MP variants coming out today. Even though he gets 2, it doesn't look like it's actually going to matter. Patsy, bye-bye. Sit down. Olymp's hitting shots. Raiko's hitting shots. Everyone is for ESC. And Sangal, they probably have no idea what's just happened because that was a whirlwind of a round.
Oh, that's so... I have to say, I mean, Result swing there from Library just felt so unnecessary. They understood exactly what was happening. They had a smoke down. They had 2 smokes down Moto, like you said. There was a smoke down to library as well. If they jump through that moto smoke, you can just jump through with them. Your teammates can focus on shorts, or they can set up in pits. He does not need to swing and take that risk. They had them contained. Norway has the archers locked off. It was a greedy swing. And the worst part is it still almost worked out. Like, if there wasn't that kill there from Reiko, Olymp was inside of library with the bomb on low health, with smokes fading. It's just... Yeah, Sangal getting flustered. I mean, ESC are making these fast, deep commitments into critical territories, whether it's been Banana, the brackets, into the apartments. This time, Olymp braved through an incendiary on the start of the round to get access to that long wrap. And, of course, it's going to throw everybody off kilter on Sangal. They weren't expecting that quick timing.
Oh, Sangal tried to take matters into their own hands. They sit there and they think, too many times, for too long has ESC taken the fight to us. It is our time, on our own turf. Issue is, they all died. So, round over.
Yeah, what a rallying call that would be.
Too long they have triple entried us on the B-bomb sites.
We shan't be on the back foot for much longer.
Tally-ho, boys!
Only to lose every single leg.
You can't be on the back foot if you've lost it.
Yeah. That is... Probably not an accurate representation, but not that far off.
Oh, he dodges the flash. Okay, sorry. I assumed result was dead there.
Might still be. He's against the GOAT. But Result does out-aim him this time over. And Danis will no-scope a chicken.
I was going to say...
The most excitement there.
That's actually quite a nuts shot. I wonder if every time a chicken gets killed in CS, B-Dog's leg just hurts a little bit.
Like a Harry Potter Voldemort type thing.
Yes, I was thinking more Voodoo Doll, but that's like, yeah, the Horcrux. Yeah, I love it.
We have to ask him sometime, because surely that's... Actually, he's had some leg pain before, so maybe that's the root of it. Well, already some early damage done. ESC are once again in the brackets past these smokes, and Pat C does get his kill. Still more smokes down. Danis is on a fast rotate into towards the library, but Olymp's head on it's on a swivel. 2 quick kills, and well, he's lost all of his teammates. There could be an escape path. Has to be worried about the flank, but of course, it's Moonwalk to go back and check it. Headshot there, and Olymp just again out-muscling some of the aimers here on Sangal. Danis thought he was in the right spot, but now he's in a foot race to B.
And he's actually going to get there in time. Issue is, there's a smoke for that cross, and this AWP not going to be able to activate like he would have wanted to. Not able to take advantage of the low HP the same way as the rifles, and he just walked, back-turned into Moonwalk's crosshairs. 8-3 ESC. After Overpass, it has just been flawless.
Yeah, it really has, and it's not exactly the vehicles they usually use to get to these types of score lines. It's been Olymp with just unrelenting aggression. These calls are so... They're so headstrong, the decisions, and yet they continue to come away with important entries. This is a very uncomfortable place to be. I'm sure many of us at home will look at games on Inferno and think, in the pro circuit, there's a lot of, respect given to each other, a lot of util exchanges, kind of, oh, well, if you don't throw enough util here, we'll take it. But in this game, it has been, we're just going to run through everything. And if you cannot stop it, then every area of the map is suddenly compromised. You can throw incendiaries down, we're running through it, and we're headshotting you.
This must be one of the most humbling games to be playing for a team like Sangal, because you just sit there and you're like, they are just better than me. they just are clicking every first bullet headshot. But hold on, there's some fight back. There's some bite left in this dog. And it's looking really good for Sangal, as they surely should be closing out the half on a high, as Patsy finds 2. No shenanigans there for Moonwalk. Samay gonna be meeting that same fate. Dink with the USP through the wall for like 20 HP. It takes a second, it takes a while, but they end on a high. Sangal, is this the start of a crazy comeback?
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been testing so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and Rolex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, acting like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on the better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back.
Well, a small amount of redemption here for Sangal after a pretty dismal CT side. Olymp had his way with them on that first half, but now they'll have to show us exactly how that CT side is done. This could be the last half of play before we start looking and locking in teams into that grand finals here at the ESL Challenger League Season 50 European Cup 3, and a chance to level up and get to ESL Pro League.
A proving ground seen already in this season for the likes of Hotu, Inner Circle. They've put themselves on the map solely because of their qualifications from the open circuit in that tournament. Sangal, are they gonna be able to get there? By me says no, and finally he comes alive. The hands have been found, and he quadruples his kills in one sitting with one magazine from Pit. He rains fire onto them. Klax finally does extinguished that bright flame towards Pit, but they know exactly where he is. Raiko's flanking him. Klax is holding for it because it's somewhat obvious, like,
Yeah.
you are going to expect that, and that's why I really like how Raiko's playing this, that he's not...
What?
Guys!
Oh my...
Guys! Bombs down! Oh my god! What are you doing, ESC?
Why have you done that? How have they allowed this to happen? Klax should have had absolutely no chance. Is that Olymp confidence? He did everything, near everything right on that T side, and then he decides to run through a smoke in a 3v1. I mean, great shooting from Klax. You know, had to punish those plays, but he should not have been given the opportunity. We'll see if Sangal could actually make use of the extra life that the ESC seem to have given them.
Such bonkers. How the conversation that I was cut off from was me saying how I like how they're playing it, and how Raiko understands that he's probably being held for, and that's why he's backtracking and playing an off angle in towards bedroom. And then just literally as I'm murmuring those words, meow, oh,
They just full charge.
okay.
What? Wait, how? He got two!
He gets two jumping out of apartments! Oh my god! Now that, if anything, is the epitome of taste of your own medicine.
What is happening in this game? An impossible 1v3 to play. Start a 1v4 right up the smoke. He gets two. There was certainly a chance for another
He almost
clutch.
wins that?
Oh dear. So Klax gets his 1v4 and then gets two while airborne out of the apartments. This is Counter-Strike.
Go buy a lottery card, Mr. Klax. Because I think it's more common for lightning to strike twice than for whatever's just happened there. The guy was mini Pit and then Pit. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
We're continuing with every single variant of the MP9 family. And Olymp and Raiko, who were being an absolute nuisance, pests over on that B-bomb side, on the T side, but on the defense, they actually fool only getting a kill and get, again, a bit of taste of their own medicine. They are setting up a play, but then get thwarted during that process by Tannis running around the corner.
Yeah, they both got caught by the flash. I think they were going to boost on the half wall, and then because they were blind, they didn't build the boost, and then suddenly they were just bumping booties.
Hey, yo.
And it was not exactly their plan, but you know, I'm sure they don't mind.
There is a slight worry for ESC that because Raiko got 2 kills in that 1v3 in the previous round, which was the force buy, they decided to force buy back in with 4 kills. And Raiko had a primary rifle because of those SMG frags. The extra $, and sorry, Nori just unloads a magazine into...
I think it was Oliver's body.
Yeah, just Oliver's body. She's like, this is what you were doing. You were terrorizing me. This feels good. Vindication. But yeah, this is a force buy, so it's going to be an eco in the next. Sure, there is quite a lot of saved weaponry and resources. So it's an eco with a little bit more punch to it. But still, though, Sangal should be... This is a roadmap for an 8.5.
Assuming, yeah, there wouldn't be too much of an investment. Just some extra utility. Help soften up some of these players. And some extra weaponry. Some Some pistols that can cause some issues. It's a 4-man A play from the start here for ESC. But it's banana control for Sangal. So focuses are set on opposite sites. There needs to be appropriate amounts of interference put towards this A site for ESC to maintain this A side stack. Smoke to CT, good boost. I mean, catch it by me, clearing deep. And that's the sole defender of this B site dealt with. ESC are out of position and simply won't give it a good old honest try.
May as well, I think, just save these rifles they have. I kind of prefer it. Armor as well, or rather did have armor. Clax, it's just despicable, his performance, I guess, so far on the T side.
Yeah.
If Sangal go on to win this map, it is exclusively because of that 1v4 pissed around and because Clax gets a double opener mid-air getting out of apartments. Like, it is just exclusively down to that. And this is the Sangal that we do need to keep in mind had a really strong start on the defense. They had a 3-3 scoreline where they had won the first 3 gun rounds. And then that was it, right? Like, yeah. I remember saying, like, oh, this is, you know, a competitive looking third map. And then 8-3.
Yeah,
so,
and then 8-4 barely at the end. But, you know, every round they won on that CT side was actually very clean. You know, barely took any casualties, any real damage. The attack of ESC fell flat in every round that Sangal won, so...
I think it's best just not to count our chickens too early.
Yeah. See how this gun round goes. Full reinvestment here for ESC. They were the ones setting the tone and the temperature throughout that entire first half. They may have to be the ones to make those knee-jerk reactions themselves. Fast play into brackets. And while Samay will try and block with utility, there's a flash lined up here for Library. Baimi gets his kill, swings out through the smoke, and Nori's recovered from his blindness just in time. But there's Olymp to spring out from the arches just as well. So back to a 2-on-4, and that bomb is segmented away from the site via smoke. Pursuing this A bomb site would be a mistake. It is fully stacked, and look at the re-aggression here from ESC. They want to remain hot on the heels of Sangal should they reposition, but Patsy finds his kill. Olymp will not be able to hunt down that trade. But as there's aggression one side, Patsy turns his attention back to short, and he finds both Moonwalk and Sammy as well. A triple kill here for Patsy. That's a pathway carved straight out into this A bomb site.
Even I have my head in my hands. This is literally the pissed around all over again. Over-aggression, carelessly and unnecessarily. But Olymp, if there's ever a man to step up, I know he's got it in his back pocket. He's got it in his locker. First shot misses. And at range, the SMG double dinks him. Sangal take the lead for the first time in this third map, in this decider map, as they now are in the driver's seat to park their car in the third iteration of the ESL Challenger European Cup Grand Finals.
Yeah, they've done a great job of punishing these oversteps from ESC. They're overcooking, maybe too confident with their plays. First it was Clax to punish, this time Patsy, and Patsy's still ripping heads coming away into this round. That was the Orpo Sami, dropped immediate on the deep peak middle.
Range. Oh, Patsy holds a spray. He ends up getting 2 in this round, but finally laid to rest. Raiko, who has slowed down massively since transitioning over at the half. An imperative kill. Similarly, Clax, who's been a torrent. Just sweet Jesus. It was looking good in the 3 versus 3, but then you start to see shots like that. Danist, he may be an AWPer, but he's run back the years a little bit and showing us that prime 2023 Danist rifler ability and moonwalk. He caught Klaxoff earlier on in this round, but surely he doesn't really go for this. No kit, no HP, but an opening kill and a way in behind this Snoke. Nori elevates his position. Will this go checked? Up on top of Dark. Moonwalk comes around the corner, doesn't clear it. We've praised him for his awareness previously in this series, but today, and in the most important moment, it lets him down.
Yeah, the reposition there for Norway was right on point. Just gained elevation around the top of those smokes. Even if he came out from CT, it was going to be a hard adjustment, a hard read. Very committed to the duel was Norway. But now an extra round of separation. Patsy has come alive with him and Klax being those two bulldozers in this T side so far. From the clutch to the entries, they're getting the job done here for Sangal. And many will remember Klax for his journey away from 9 Pandas into Aurora, replacing Result in what ended up being some weird voodoo switcheroo in place of the rosters. Only for Klax to come into that Aurora team when they were at their most dysfunctional. Rejoins up with a lot of those teammates and has been a consistent striking force.
God, you've just drawn back a weird memory of that Result transfer. I remember that was really one of the most bizarre ordeals.
Yeah.
They've all come out the other side and they're all looking pretty together. 10-8. ESC, they're buying into this round? 2 for masses, 3 A1Ss, no util basically, no kits. This feels really just like unnecessary and over complacent, where they're throwing caution to the wind massively.
Oh, there was a minor pause. But with this round advantage, there's no time, no chances that Sangal can let slip away. They've had a conviction to them. They can't afford a couple of mistakes. But they'll need to make their move. 50 seconds, and they're starting to make some presence over towards the arches. Smoke down to the landing at the feet of Buy Me, and he'll go out for the swing. Famas will find the kill. Moonwalk swinging into the apartments as well. Overwhelms Danists. I'm sure there's reinforcements coming. Look at the commitment here from ESC. They know this is an A-side attack, but Patsy finds his first, and he'll spin around for the second. Klax emerging from that Moto smoke will bring it back to a 1-on-2, and while he does at least bring it close, the spam from Buy Me will be on point. And so there won't be more than 2 rounds of separation. ESC once again biting at Sangal's heels.
Finally, Buy Me as well having some impact. He had 6 kills coming into that round. Half of those kills came in the second pistol round where they lost, remember? So he just hasn't had any impact. And there, an opening kill and the final kill. Most importantly as well, Moonwalk, that awareness of swing onto Danist. He understands that it's going to be a play towards A and isolates those duels. A lovely hold for ESC. But it does get very close considering they had 4 players there to begin with. And the constant force buys, well, I guess it pays off.
Yeah, they finally get something to go their way. Not seeing the same sort of deep commitments, no up-tempo plays, but they do get ahead of the util down towards B. Olim finding ahead and as well deploying the smoke at the entrance to this site. would do well to get himself a foothold back into this bomb site itself, but he actually comes away with the kill. Full spam, full blind, and while moving, in fact, he's nestled himself between the smokes. He knows he actually may not know that he's dropped this bomb inside of that CT smoke, but he'll have a very, very fast timing, a fast flank. They need to get some activation from Klax. Olymp is just a total menace, and Resalt's timed out at the back of the site. There's simply no way. Olymp has successfully solo held B, and he only needed 3 kills to do it.
That's a tilter. I want to see Olymp's second kill, smoke midair, fade away.
Yeah, he's like jumping inside of the smoke while flashed. I don't know.
Like fading away. I honestly didn't even see that he got the kill, actually. Like, I didn't even notice. Yeah. And honestly, whatever Olymp's done, he's prayed and he's been delivered the hand of God. He said his prayers in church before the round started.
Yeah. Listen, I don't know what he did between map 2 and map 3. Whatever DM routine or aimbot session he did, but he should keep doing that because he's been on fire. Like, that is lightning quick. And then this is nonsense.
Like, what's quite funny though is that we're talking, okay, yeah, that's just ridiculous. Actually, not as crazy as I kind of thought it would be.
He was jumping back in through CT while spamming, so it was an airborne flashed through smoke full spam.
Just unlucky.
Yeah.
Olymp's performance is just like exclusively towards the B-bomb site. On both teams.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right.
So it's this aim routine, but also confined in just this part of the map.
Stroke of brilliance from Olymp, but also bad luck for Sangal. Result timing out in that previous round. He's back in the server now, but we find ourselves tied up 10-10. And yeah, you just have to hope that Sangal actually don't tilt off of a moment like that. Oh, those nades are devastating. Nori down to 12 health. We'll have to call his troops in towards an A play instead. Don't feel too comfortable with how things went in their B default, but this is a reinforced A bomb site. There's 3 bomb site side, and Bimey's holding the wrap.
Was holding the wrap. I thought he was going to get himself onto the bomb site. I thought they were going to play a 4-man strong defense. But instead, he's opened up the floodgates. They are now spilling onto this site. They know there's one in mini pit. They know there's some mates on the bomb site. Are they ever going to expect Moonwalk? That Molo could have done so much damage, but it just gets put into the smoke and extinguished. Moonwalk now activates, but all his teammates have fallen. He's biding his time. He's allowing for potentially the rotation of Olymp, but headshots galore and spinning on a sixpence. Sangal head to 11 and once more clutch up the lead in the 11th hour.
You just see how electrifying these entries are as well. I mean, Patsy once again getting his play into the arches. They get the kill they need to on the player holding the wrap, but he just puts so much pressure onto all the players inside of the site, just round one gap in the smoke. He never overswings. His crosshair placement is right on the money. No one felt confident to take that duel versus Patsy, and I can understand why. That could be a curtain calling here for ESC. Money will run thin. Sangal are close to the finish, and Nori has dealt with Olymp, the trouble and the brutal leader of ESC. Now has to watch from those sidelines. Reiko will be left to his own devices in defense of this small site.
There's a lot of rotations, and so there's a lot of rotations going towards B for the CT side. The T side, not only has Patsy come away, but so is the bomb. which is chilling still in bottom mid. So, you know, not quite decided where to go just yet. And flashing Patsy in, taking top brackets control. Nori and Risalt still have a foothold on top banana. So ESC have no information, devoid of everything, and Sangal is spoilt for choice. And as the fake util comes towards B, it might just hold those 3 players there, as now Sangal, it's only a matter of time until they just execute upon Moonwalk, who now he's the one alone.
Yeah, has to do everything for the squad. Reinforcements won't arrive on time. They're coming up through short, and the Molotov that lands at his feet, he comes away with 1, but the flames will do the rest. 15 seconds, and with that bomb site being full clear, it can be planted safely. ESC realize that they are too late to the party, and they'll hold onto these guns and try and fight to overtime.
Samay, who started rotating in, actually literally doubled back as soon as the util came through. As soon as Moonwalk took contact, Samay just went, nah, I'm out. Before his teammate even died, he starts falling back towards B. Just like, it's not worth it. So Sangal, they do hit 12, but they're not going to be free to claim the victory just yet. They've still got a very difficult test ahead of them due to the Polish side saving 3 rifles and the likes of Olep having a lot of money where he can comfortably purchase up for himself, but they are certainly going to be with the luxury of no AWP whatsoever on the other side. Here it is, round 23. ESC, are they really about to bow out in this upper bracket final and potentially go back-to-back 3rd place as they will drop in and play against Alliance?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely still favor them in that head-to-head, but
Alliance played sick yesterday, man. Alliance played so good. It was actually crazy good.
It's far from a comfortable position to be in. No more mistakes, and their heavy commitment style, they have to find success. It's an opening gambit to be, and Reiko will come away with 2 kills. By me was sending up util, and so cannot hound down or take control of Deep Banana. So he'll have to just be comfortable enough with just a 3-on-3. Not sure how much confirmed damage was done, but Patsy surviving on this 1 health could get a lot of mileage.
Nori could actually just full exec on B right now because he's just got so much utility down in front of him. There's actually there's another smoke dropped as well. But Patsy...
What is this?
Wait...
I think he was spotted. Yeah,
okay.
Moonwalk turned. Samay went to check it.
Re-aggression. This is flawless from ESC. We've been critical of their aggression, especially on this defense, and the re-aggression specifically. Both the first gun round and the pistol round were lost because of re-aggression. But here, it's actually flawless, and it's actually perfect. But, dude, we've seen Clax here before. He's been here before.
Ooh. Made a fake drop.
They know.
I think they barely saw him still on top of side of the balcony, so they should double up. But wait, they're very convinced. In fact, they're moving their way into the bomb site. This is probably the safer of the 2 plays. Yeah, hearing the steps inside of the apartments. Only way to lose now is if they swung out and both died. But yeah, Clax will go out swinging. And 1 went to run and hide. So ESC don't make that same mistake versus Clax in the 1v3. And they'll be 1 step closer to forcing an overtime. I have to commend, and I always will, teams that are willing to be proactive. ESC are that amplified versus what most other teams do. That choice to re-aggress, and that 1 angle clear there from Samay may have saved the round here for ESC. If not, they likely went to reinforce that B bomb site, having cleared both middle and second mid.
It's those type of plays, the big time players coming out that could force an overtime here. If it does get to overtime, instantly the favor goes to ESC. However, Result gets the opening kill, and Olymp, what? Just re-swings into Banana, the smoke still dispersed, and Danis claims another life. 3 versus 5. By me, he has been tripping over himself constantly, let alone on this map in this series, and he's leaving B.
Yeah.
They have no info of Long at all.
I mean, he may
He's
be
scared of CT.
Yeah, I mean, him sticking around even barely towards the top side of Banana was already a sunk cost fallacy, so him vacating at this timing, they wanted to reinforce that A bomb site, but Klax has pulled attention elsewhere. He's found his kill on the lurk, and as they accelerate towards this B bomb site, Baimi has to come up big. He has to find that multi-kill, but Patsy hounds him down through the smoke, and while Moonwalk comes in on that flank, it's a one-on-one. The sharp hand of Patsy to close out here for Sangal. Moonwalk will move straight through the smoke and keep playing on here on Inferno. ESC aren't done with Sangal just yet. We go OT.
That may as well have just been a 1v4 from Moonwalk. He isolates the duel on the lurker, coming up through Banana, spearheading by himself, a solo cavalry charge, takes down the overpeak, Result out in no man's land, and then Patsy doesn't even touch him. Flawless from Moonwalk. And what a time to come alive. He's had a pretty slow Inferno after topping the charts on Nuke. But once a hero, always a hero. And ESC breathe new life into this series.
Yeah, Moonwalk has been just so key in these pivotal moments. May have let 1v1 fall away from him versus Nori on that B bomb site, but he wasn't allowing that to happen again. Olymp taking a lot of shrapnel in this first round of the overtime. In fact, he's dead to bullets. Nice headshot from Patsy. Reiko's still sticking around, and Baimi has util that can support. He's just lining up flashes as Reiko swings. And now Klax on the lurk will get sussed out, but it's confirmation on both. Baimi, a critical double, and it's still winnable, still on. Deep Molotov down to the bottom of Banana. They know exactly what Moonwalk's up to, but he braves past those flames and inserts himself immediately into the smoke. It's being watched for. Result's not falling to those antics. Sangal in immediate 13th round.
Result's probably a little bit annoyed because that's the exact situation. Like literally, I think to the pixel, basically the exact same duel from Regulation in the 2v1. Woms, if you just hit the shot then.
Yeah, we wouldn't be here.
Double orb. Olymp's pulled out the big green. I guess when he's got 22 kills and he's playing like he does, it's fair enough to Zerb. He has slowed down massively on the defense actually though. Like really hasn't got many kills in comparison to what he was doing on the attack. Olymp's AWP has been heard, but I think they might not realize that there's a double AWP power. So they're going headfirst now onto this B bomb site, and they might get a rude awakening when Samay starts to initiate contact, but Danis holds for him. Baimi waiting for the swing, patiently will be rewarded. Issue is he peaks as that smoke's being bloom and will be dropped. All players for ESC have rotated towards A, but it's a Fugazi. And in this mirage, they have been left lifeless as Sangal already are getting the bomb down on B.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great read here from Danis, but Klax is highly separated, and so Olymp will have a 1v1 on this site. Klax has to have some urgency running into this B bomb site, but Olymp with that secondary AWP, this has not been his forte. It's been on these rifles, and just as he swings to clear Banana, Danis peeks out into spawn. That reposition, that call, and this hat trick of frags from Danis gives Sangal a massive edge. He saw the nameplate. He saw it was by me. And just assumed that B was vacant because that's how ESC play. They are so fast to rotate, so quick to reinforce. He couldn't have been more right.
Really conviction on that rotation. I was actually quite surprised of how just they went for it. Results? Forced through the fire. How is this a 4v4 for Sangal? Like, how haven't they lost more than one player there? And why is Raiko just giving his life up unnecessarily? And no one's rotated over. Olimp's on 5 HP, and he's by himself on the B-bomb site, and he's dead. That's round over. That's 15 for Sangal.
It should be. If this game was straightforward, if this matchup between these teams was straightforward, I'd be with you.
Operative word should be.
Yeah. Well, now Same is also low HP. Blow the smoke, and he's tempting fate a little. He is backed up by a teammate. Looks like they're looking to set up a boost, which Patsy currently won't be clearing for. In fact, it's Clax on his elevation that will hit the headshot into Moonwalk. One spams. Bimey will hope to get fights to spawn, but the smoke fades and he gets completely undressed. It's a complete sweep on this T side for Sangal. While the 13th round was elusive in regulation, they have 3 opportunities moving into this CT side to close and secure a grand finals placement.
It's honestly crazy to me that ESC forced it into overtime with just this incredible display of heroicism from Moonwalk. And I would have assumed, and I would have put good proverbial money on the fact that ESC then were going to ride that wave. It's been kind of, if anything, the opposite. I really assumed Sangal maybe get a bit deflated thinking, oh, what a great comeback from us. But then it's in overtime now. Kind of big, deep sigh of breath.
Yeah.
And then they go flawless and look better on the overtime they did in regulation during that comeback when they had more of the momentum. So great from Sangal, and just massive question marks for this so-called favorites.
And because they're so headstrong with how committed they were on those T sides in regulation, are you brave enough to make that decision in an OT where you know you can make 0 mistakes?
While Olymp's also cooled his jets down. Like, Olymp in the first half, I'm pretty sure had almost 22 kills. And that's where he sits going into the second half of overtime. But this B-bomb site, it's proved to be so successful for them in the past. Nori, though, this AWP ready and rating.
Well, his timing shot won't hit. And at the back of the bomb site, Result is totally isolated. The AWP can provide no support. Incendiary left for Patsy on the rotate, and while it does some damage onto Olymp, it will not finish off the job nor stop the plant. And so it is a man advantage here for ESC with that bomb ticking away. Clax is going to be real late to the party. He's expecting to find Moonwalk on his lurk, but he's already far ahead to what Clax had planned and is looking to backstab into spawn. Timing's good for Moonwalk, and while Clax finds the trade inside spawn, the rest of his team are having to push forward into the site proper, but they're doubled up inside of Dark. Samey sitting inside of Smoke. And while they deal with Reiko inside of Banana, hold up. They're actually losing a lot of these fights. Just simply not enough time. Bimey will get enough done. And while Samey gets his kill on the exit, there will be no survivors, but ESC still alive on this T side.
Yeah, there were just so many numbers on that retake, and Moonwalk even getting 1 there, I think, was enough. He just displaced the retake by that little bit that his team needed from him. So it's not the crazy Olymp and Raiko run up B and hit 3 headshots, but it is a nice execute towards the B-bomb site where they smoke off Nori. Result just kind of isolates himself with a duel. I don't know. That felt very messy on B, that they just didn't have any tandem about them. But okay, this is the ESC we've come to know and love. Up in Archers at 1 minute and 37 seconds, and they've already got an opening kill. Welcome back to server, Raiko. I've been missing you.
Oh, wait, they hit the tags onto this player inside a pit, and while he doesn't hit the shot, Bimey will respond. Yeah, this is that heavy commitment style that was so lethal for them in regulation. But it was feast or famine on these types of plays. They either won handily or lost quite handily. So that's where that risk comes into the overtime. And this was the right call. Norway will try his best to do damage and punish, but Same will finally put him to rest. It's a full team ace in the end here for ESC. And they only need 1 more to push us into another overtime.
It's a full team ace, but to be honest, it feels like it's exclusively facilitated by just that sheer selflessness from Raiko, taking all of that space and setting up the rest of his teammates. Just hard entering in.
Yeah, for sure.
And from that position that Sangal once were in, 3-0 on the T side, they looked flawless. And it's then over time, a second one's calling as Result has died to the utility. Olymp, however, though, does get over aggressive. He forces his way forward. There's a trade on the other side of the map. Danis peeking in and gets the wall bang on Raiko. All of a sudden, Sangal stem the bleeding, and it's their turn to take the advantage.
And ESC will have to find a kill somewhere on this A bomb site, but that bomb is dropped into second middle. Moonwalk deals with Patsy, who sits on 30. Clack's trying to get a 31st, but yeah, the damage is good, but he cannot finish off the job. Buy Me surviving on 6 health, evading capture through the HE. But Clax has called his teammate over. All that mounting pressure on this A bomb site, they will want to play together, not play these 1-on-2s. And now they realize that they've been completely hoodwinked, not too dissimilar to a Cole Danis made himself. This 2-on-2, it will be a full retake on this B bomb site.
Okay, on Clax. Very smoke towards CT. This is going to funnel Sangal through coffins. And as they make their way over, they are met with another wall of smoke. Clax dropping utility. Danis, is he just going to walk through? He's made noise. They know he's here. Buy Me low HP, not spotted in towards Pit, but Moonwalk dealt with. Buy Me tucking away, dancing and prancing in through the smoke. Clax is just sticking the bomb. Ice in the veins. He gets off it. Clax gets off the bomb. Why in God's name does he do that? And Buy Me, who we've been so critical of, comes alive when most needed.
And I thought he'd fumbled it. He let his teammate die in dark on his low health. And yet somehow he's still able to whisk away the round. That should not happen. Why has he come off the defuse? There was, even if he gets the kill, he has no time to defuse at that point. And so we play on. Buy Me a point of weakness for ESC so far in this entire series, but has been able to demonstrate some of that prowess here on Inferno. Hasn't been to the same effect, not to the same numbers, not what we're used to. But those types of rounds are exactly what you want to see more of as we get deeper and deeper into this game. Just not for Clax. He's been playing so well, only to make such a silly mistake.
It's the fact that Clax is the one who got the 1v4 on the pistol round. He's the one who gets the jumping double with the Mac 10 in the following round to win the conversion in the second half.
Yep.
And then just that, like, oh, that's going to be such a tilter. Like, did he come off accidentally? If he'd stuck that, he wins the round. Like, he has won that round if he sticks that because of how Buy Me was playing and how he was, like, getting lost in the smokes.
Yep.
And chose to nade instead of taking the fight due to, I don't know, I don't think Buy Me even realized how low the time was either, as he fumbles and kind of messes around with like trying to nade him off the bomb. It's actually such a colossal mistake. And in those little moments, they separate the good and the great, and they separate Sangal from potentially the grand finals and a third place consolidation game where they still can make the grand finals. It's just a lot harder.
Yeah. I mean, listen, let's be clear. You know, there's no guarantee that Buy Me doesn't kill Clax on the defuse. But when it's overtime, when there's nothing to lose at that point, does your KD matter? Does you winning the 1v1 duel matter if you're Clax there? You should just stick the defuse. Like, if you're aware of the time in any capacity, you just don't get off the bomb ever. There, you know, who's to say? You know, Buy Me could have run through the smoke. He could have spammed through it. No, there was no guarantees, but it was a high percentage play, and it's the only play you can make when the bomb is low. That's essentially the crux of the issue. And it just must have been hectic, because it's the only the only reason I can give that anyone would make that decision is that they just simply didn't know. Heat of the moment. Yeah, pressure is maybe high for these squads. ESC probably feel like they should have wrapped up. They've floundered a 1-on-4, or rather a 4v1 and a 4v2. And so maybe, just maybe, them getting these 3 rounds straight will put enough of a damper on the mood of Sangal that ESC can start to answer back. This doesn't seem like we're live. Everybody is kind of chilling in spawns. Was this like a...
We need to get the elevator music playing.
Yeah, was this like a union bathroom break that we weren't made aware of?
Were we not included in that?
Nope, don't think so.
Union bathroom break. Clacks just to Rocky style, just start punching trees and it's like, okay, I'm ready to go now. I'd be really interested when this map ends just to check Olymp's first half kills compared to now, as...
I think, I want to say he was on 17 kills, because he did have a few kills at the start of the CT side. And then it did dry up. But I think he was stuck on 22 for quite some time.
He got 2 in that half of OT.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I think the point was that it just... That's one of the more grandeur drop-offs I think I've seen of someone in a while, of just like how well he was doing and how insanely crisp it was. Similar to Raiko, like Moonwalk, it feels like for me, is the only reason we're in this double overtime. Obviously, there's he got a 1v4, obviously, but it's just also outside of those rounds, he's been a real staple of the ESC community. And you can see production's going wild with the cams. They're going clucking mental.
Well, chickens have died in spawn, but hope has not for either of these two teams. First overtime dealt with. Now we reset. Nade is beautiful there from Sangal right off the jump. They wanted to go for a fast mid play only to get blitzed by shrapnel. And immediately they'll move to the long side where they've exploited this wrap before. But Patsy deals with both of them. A nice defensive smoke to ruin their plans. And ESC will have to try and go to plan B, only to get spammed over on B. Bomb was even dropped outside of that smoke. Nori would have heard it. It's just the same type of play. Both Patsy and Nori collecting on players walking through smokes.
I wonder if it's tilting in a moment like this. Deep into a 3-mapper, double overtime, all on the line. You fumble a 3-0 lead, and then you win the first round.
Yeah.
Flawlessly.
You have to.
Like, flawlessly, not even used as an exaggeration. Like, that was perfection from Patsy, who drops a nade in mid, continuously falls back, doesn't overextend, has that smoke in front of him and just plays around it. Like, that was beautiful Counter-Strike from Patsy, who's exhibited that sort of style multiple times on Inferno. But 16-15, maybe this is the breakthrough that Sangal needed, as they're the first team to win on the CT side in overtime.
Oh, and it might just look like another clean sweep. Norway, a lovely boost call. And yeah, it's Bomb at the bottom of Banana. Oh dear. Moonwalk did get his kill. And he's still throwing some presence inside of the apartments, keeping tabs on things. Bomb was rescinded. Sangal didn't stick around to defend it. So it is a 3-on-4. Sangal won't be entirely sure where ESC are headed.
Actually, a big lack of information for Sangal, considering they were in what was a 5v3 and now a 4v3. This is just a straight contact play. And Nori, holding this angle in CT, luckily a back turned. Risalt just swings on his contact, and Moonwalk I've seen him do nasty things on this bomb site before, but this time it's Nori to go back-to-back multi-frags and a bit of BM just to make sure that he truly was dead.
Yeah, beautiful. I mean, the call to boost, not on the half wall, but just behind it. They set up a flash play on the side of ESC and they just waltz into a completely unblinded and laser-focused Norway, who not only finishes those two, but collects on two more. Just that 1-2 punch between him and his teammate on the site. So yeah, these CT rounds have been worth their weight in gold. Raiko, great timing, just challenging around the edge of the smoke.
No matter what happens, we can always rely on a Raiko or Olymp one tap at least once every halftime and overtime.
Yeah, that's true. Uh-oh. Yeah, this is looking like a done deal. Good kill from Moonwalk, and divided attention. Clax held on. He's gotten 2 out from pit. And just like that, he can keep himself alive a little while longer. Flash to buy more time, but Olymp goes over the top. And it will have to be Norway to clutch. But that bomb's not down just yet. He has some room to work with.
Util being thrown out. This makes it very uncomfortable for ESC. They're boxed in. They're having a mother's meeting on the bomb site. One headshot family doesn't expect them both to be stepping on each other's toes. And luckily, ESC, their bad positioning ultimately wins them the round. Nori gets a multi-kill in every single round on the CT side. And unfortunately, 1 kill is elusive between Sangal going 3-0 again and ESC this time being able to at least finish it off in regulation.
Yeah, to think that that's your win condition, you know, have Norway, the in-game leader, get multi-kills every round to keep you in the game. 1 kill doesn't cut it. Need 2 or more. And that may be the requirement again here for Sangal on their T side. Patsy, Clax, these were very punishing players on the attack, but Patsy will go headstrong past the smoke at the half wall. And Olymp just continuing to spam as they look to progress. Damage is good onto Raiko. And Olymp and him have to back completely away from top B. This is usually where you'll see, yeah, either some retake util from a CT side, or maybe the Ts will bounce back to affect into brackets, but it's pretty roots planted from both sides.
I mean, the pressure's on Sangal, right? They're the one who lost Patsy early on. And even though they have done damage to Raiko, which is great, Resolt's also on 3 HP and almost dies as that nade in the smoke. Oh, wait, Olymp's just been owned.
Yeah.
Nori, what is this win potential? You said it wasn't something that should be relied on. The IGL getting multi-frags. I'm starting to think it is something that can be relied on because he's just going crazy. And Clack spots out 2 on short, able to deal with 1. But as that bomb gets planted, it's a 3 versus 3 with both sides having 1 player so tantalizingly close to death.
There's no offensive utility here for the T's, though. So as those smokes fade, it has to be straight up shooting. Nice kill from Danis, finishing off that job. But as they group themselves into CT, Incendiary forces Danis out right into the loving hands of Buy Me. But it has to be a 1-2 punch. Norway not taking that contact, waiting for Result to swing first, and then he'll continue and collect on the trade. It's another Norway multi-kill, but this time in defense of that B bomb site with that bomb down.
You were also a little bit scared about that. Nori's peeking off the contact, and I can definitely see him just being transitioned on or being traded out. I was a little bit scared, and it feels like Result in pit there had to get that first kill, and because he does, Nori's able to trade. Very high stakes. Blood is boiling, and Sangal, they hit map point for the 4th time it would be in overtime. Raiko, opening kill on the previous. Another opening kill here as Result meets his maker. 3 players towards B. Sangal seem to know this. They've got the opening kill on Samay. They're just going to accelerate. Moonwalk's all by himself.
Yeah, it's an immediate wager, and Moonwalk can't stand his ground on this site. He gets spammed around the edge of the smoke, and they drop a smoke right behind them. They're expecting this fast flank, given the deep aggression into Banana. And so from a man deficit, ESC have to walk it. They have to make a play, something they bring them back, but they make a step. Olim doesn't land with his feet held high. It's Reiko that finally strikes from the apartments. And with Klax taking contact, there's a second player in that pit that could always go in for the trade, but it's not even necessary. It's By Me that had to be the one to bring heroics, but it's Klax's double that will seal the deal. 19-16, Sangal get it done in the second overtime. They will be our first grand finalists here at the ESL Challenger League European Cup.
I am so impressed with the tenacity from Sangal, not only being 8-3 down and even firstly just making this map competitive when it looked like it was just going to be a steamroll mimicking Nuke, but the fact that they can't close out in overtime, the fact that ESC force it even out of regulation in the first place, for them to win 3 rounds on the trot and then not convert in that first overtime, they still don't bow down. They pick themselves up and they look near flawless in that second overtime. It's also poetic to me that Klax of all players is the one to get the final 2 kills. The one who got that 1v4 in that second half pistol round. The sole reason why that comeback was ever possible. He starts it off and he ends it as they progress through to their first grand final under the Sangal banner, and their first grand final, I would like to say, ever with this core.
Yeah, well, that is a interesting enough statement, considering, I mean, maybe with Aurora,
sorry,
yes,
this core not in Aurora.
Yeah, since their rebuild, that is almost certainly the case. It's been an arduous process, that much is for sure, but you see some of the weaknesses as well. You know, ESC are definitely a team that a lot within the circuit are taking notice of, given their short lifespan. A lot of players that have been coming from all different walks of life within the Polish scene, and them linking up together has been a pretty miraculous solution. They're very aggressive. They're very committal. They make a lot of very bold decisions, but you can see the weakness that can have as well. You know, we get into these overtimes and some of those rounds just blow up in their face at the most critical junctures. So yes, it's a real testament to Sangal that they were able to shoot their way through an ESC that were just as oppressive as they typically have been.
It's also just a massive stain on the record for ESC. Not necessarily because Sangal's bad, but just the eye test is really worrying. And for ESC as well, they have been doing ever so consistent with still winning some of these events, but they have been losing to some very odd opponents. CCT Series 7, lost in the semifinals against Favbear. Series 8, lost in semifinals again to Ruby. It's kind of those like really weird question mark losses, and especially here, they aren't playing in Cup number 4. So if they want to have that chance at a qualification to Pro League, it has to be done in this Cup. And last time, they came so close, but got knocked out in that consolidation final that they have now been plummeted into by BC Game. Alliance is ready and waiting for them. But Yumi, that's us done for today. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the mic with me. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, same time, same place, is that consolidation final to see who will come up against Sangal in the grand finals.
ESL presents ESL Challenger League in partnership with Intel, Acer Predator, DHL, and Kidia.
I'll keep going till my speaker calm blows. I'll keep going till my speaker calm blows. I'll keep going till my speaker calm blows. I'll keep going till my I'll keep going till my I'll keep go till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm blows. 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 Going till my speaker calm blows. I'll keep going till my speaker calm blows. I'll keep going till my speaker calm blows. I'll keep going till my I'll keep going till my I'll keep go till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm blows. 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 I'll keep going till my speaker calm blows.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll Lex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brother since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on the better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino.